What up?
I need that sports encyclopedia. Where you at, Steve Kim? Got Trent in the cut.
Coach,
yeah.
Where you at, man? In the gym shooting, I'm Durant. You ain't shooting John Moran.
Darnell is the Ball State legend. I'm the Warren Central High School legend.
I'm proving with a reliable source, straight from the mouth of the horse. Smitty and JB and Smitty from West Coast to Yost.
I love talking ball. It's nice to connect with guys that are like-minded and just are real and genuine.
Better stay in your lane. Hop into
You are fucking insane. Dude, what? You just will not give this guy his flowers. What is up? What is wrong with you?
Oh, you must have thought I was a bitch.
I am him. You's not it. What's the topic? With your logic when I flow. Big Komodo, how it's talking.
You gotta get back to letting the baby cry a little bit to see if they can soothe themselves.
That's a bar.
Issues get pressed so fast it don't get sacked like bags and baggage. Smitty and Jason Brown killed it, yeah, it's a rap. We what the game's been missing, we switched it and filled the gap.
I identified him after his third fight, and I said that guy should be a star.
I'm so proud of the show, bro.
The gas, Smitty and Jason Brown.
Coach JB Show.
It's foolish. What up? We are in the building. I'm feeling like a real one today. Because you know me. It's Real Talk, Free Game Friday. And I got real talk to give out here today to all you cats. I'm on IG Live right now. They let me back out of suspension. They let me out of jail. I said, let me go on an Instagram Live to all the real folks out here. So I'm going to go on there. And we're going to get it started. Go check out winnable.com/slappicks. Head on over there today. Use the first down package we have. We're going to have all the cappers on here during the football season, about a month and a half away from the realest show on planet Earth. The best football show on planet Earth will be right here, the Coach JB Show with Big Smitty, live from the studio. Pound that like, subscribe, become a member. Come on over to YouTube and subscribe. We're trying to get to 50,000 subscribers by football season. We're almost at 44,000 already. Appreciate everybody over there that's coming on over to the realest show on planet Earth. All the merch we got popping, go on over to CoachJBStore.com and grab you some of the fire merch that's out. But before we begin, let's get this thing going because I got a real lead in for everybody out there. Steve Kerr endorsed Kamala Harris yesterday, and I endorsed Trump today. Pop it. Along with other celebrities, LeBron James, Martin Lawrence, a lot of others came out and endorsed Kamala Harris. I would love to know if any of these people did any research or they just voted because they think Kamala is a sister in America. I would ask these folks if their own people, their own circles. I would ask LeBron and Martin Lawrence and Steve Kerr, hey, homie, you got black agents, black attorneys, black managers? They aren't. Besides Clutch Sports and LeBron's homie Maverick Carter, all his attorneys and management people are white. I know who they are. Josh Tarnow, white boy. Dan Serkin, white boy. Represent, all white boys represent Steve Kerr, Martin Lawrence, LeBron James, yet we're out here saying we need to be pro-black for Kamala. Make it make sense, homie. I have discussed this, all right, for a while now. We have talked about supporting black folks on this show all the time. I've been doing my whole life. It's all I've ever supported. We're talking about it at an all-time high, but I want it to make sense for all you out here. It's a joke. Martin Lawrence's entire team is white boys. Lawyers, managers, Steve Cohen, talent agent Jim Burkus, his agent, Kara Alpert, all white. Steve Kerr is an absolute joke. I just want to show you how hypocritical Steve Kerr has been throughout time. This is a man who's lost his father, who used to teach at UCLA. Steve Kerr's dad was assassinated, people, in the Middle East of all places. yet he thinks our borders are safe with Kamala Harris at the helm. I would ask if you ask these folks, what deep dive have you all done? What facts do you have? And what this woman represents? What does she represent, LeBron, Martin Lawrence, Steve Kerr? What does Kamala represent? I bet you $1 to dimes you couldn't tell me what she represents other than what you think she is. What is her plan to make America great? That's what I want to know from Steve Kerr, Martin Lawrence, LeBron James, all these celebrities that have come out all of a sudden and how she's raised $100 million in basically 72 hours. It's such a damn joke. It's a shame and it's a mockery that these people don't take this shit seriously. For the love of God, people, if you don't do research, sit it out like I do every election. I don't vote. I'm not voting. But don't add votes to an already failing system. Don't be your own man and do what's right. Jesus Christ. Let's dive into the show. Aaron Rodgers hits Garrett Wilson on a deep pass in Jets training camp. Everyone's going crazy. They want to see the Aaron Rodgers-Garrett Wilson connection. Hulk Hogan and Dan Campbell do a promo at Detroit Lions training camp. Dan Campbell takes heat because Hulk Hogan just endorsed Donald Trump. Make it make sense. Fans are reportedly not happy in Detroit. Crazy. Raiders players mimicking Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes with Kermit the Frog dolls. Raiders, pump your brakes on me. You haven't won shit. Clayton Kershaw returns for the Dodgers. They beat the hated ones, the Giants, last night. And Justin Fields seen throwing a deep ball in training camp for the Steelers as Russell Wilson, another big-time name, out of practice. But what does JB know? But before we begin, my co-host extraordinaire, Naptown legend, 3174 East Sider, LeBron hairline having, Lamar Jackson loving, AR5 defending, Caitlin Clark very own Big Smitty. Welcome him in.
What's going on, y'all, man? It's Friday. We finally here, JB. It's been a hell of a week, a long week. I see you starting to show off already on fire right now, going hard, going in. The chat is popping right now. I see Bradley in there with the fire emojis. I see your favorite fan, Gene. I see Mark Rideout. I see Ron and Real Truth, and Carson Wentz is in the chat right now. You're supposed to be at camp with the Chiefs. What you doing, Carson Wentz, watching the show? But we live. It's Friday. We're about to get it.
Hey, Smitty, I didn't even know I was on IG Live. I thought I was on TikTok. I've been banned on IG Live for a while.
I know.
My IG's back. So hopefully that means you can collaborate back with me again.
I'm sure I can, but hopefully you don't get banned again because you were just on live and you just did that full intro talking politics, which IG Live don't like. So you might get banned again. So we'll see what happens. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. How you doing though, man? How your back feeling?
Man, it's back kind of hurt. I woke up last night by it. Hate that. Couldn't move. You know how it go.
I be tossing and turning all night. Matter of fact, you guys are going to see me randomly stand up probably every 15 minutes or so throughout the show just to keep my back a little loose because what messes me up, because I woke up this morning not feeling too bad compared to other days. But what happens is I sit in this chair for like hours straight and it like messes it's a wrap. It gets stiff and everything. So just be prepared for me to stand up a couple times.
Yeah, I don't think nobody's really worried about you standing up. I got you a backseat. I don't know.
Yeah, but I can't sit on the back. So I got to lay down. I can't do the show laying down, can I?
I mean, you can do whatever you want. Huh?
All right. If shit starts to hurt too bad, I might lay down the second hour of the show and just hold my laptop like this the whole time.
You got like a video you can put like laying down.
I can probably figure something out. I mean, this camera that you got me, this little Logi camera, I can take it off the laptop. I can hold it in front of me, hold the camera, keep the laptop over here. I can do a lot now.
All right, I'm on TikTok now, so Bailey, just don't get me to say nothing.
What's going on, man? Let's get it going, man. What we got? We got quote of the day. What we got? Get your energy up before we get this show started. It's 6 in the morning. We up. We ready.
Got a lot of shit going on over here.
Well, I don't care about a lot of shit. Right now, you're doing the show. Either we're doing the show or we're not doing the show.
A lot of producing in the background. A lot of shit going on over here. I'm trying to get a lot of things. I got IG, TikTok. I got a lot of things going on. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody. Pound that like, subscribe. Make sure we got new members in here. I appreciate all the new members, plus the subscribers. We're up to 3,500 subscribers in just the last week alone. Shout out to Bailey for doing all that pushing, and for Smitty and everybody else involved in this thing. So shout out to everybody. Smitty, Kerr endorsed Kamala yesterday for absolutely zero reason. I endorsed Trump.
Not the Kerr.
I endorsed Trump, and I gave you all my reasons over the last few weeks. I'm still not voting. Make sure I don't get it twisted.
My only beef with you, JB. My only beef with you. And I said it before. I'm gonna say it again. When somebody like Hulk Hogan endorses Trump, you come on here and you praise him and you hand clap and you say, "What an incredible job you've done." And the Hulk Hogan looks exactly the same as he used to look. As soon as somebody endorses the other side because you disagree, what research did they do? They stupid. She ain't even black, and it's like you're always attacking. You're not neutral in this conversation, which is my only beef. It's like at the end of the day, we live in a country where we got decisions and freedom. So if somebody wants to vote for the other side, they don't have to tell you, JB, why they're doing it. That's who they're endorsing. You're endorsing Trump. Cool.
Okay,
y'all endorse what y'all endorse. Why can't we maintain peace while we endorse whoever we endorse? That's my only beef with you.
Okay, let me first time out. Show me when I've endorsed or said anything about Hulk Hogan being right, wrong, or indifferent. I'll wait. Go ahead.
We can go find the clip.
I never said nothing about Hulk Hogan.
But JB, it's just like how you say about me, bro. Like you can don't be condescending. Like sometimes I'll joke with you and I'll say certain shit without saying it, but you know what the fuck I'm talking about. You do the same thing. If somebody endorses fucking Biden or not Biden, Kamala, you get like your energy towards that is like, what the fuck? You're dumb. You didn't do research. You don't question people that endorse Trump. You never once say that Hulk Hogan they do his research. If they endorse Trump, you're like, hell yeah, good shit. You know, the Pouncey twins, who we love, came on the show. They said, yeah, we endorse Trump. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. If somebody said they endorse Kamala on the other side, did you do your research? That's all I'm saying. Because,
Smitty, for the last 8 years, I've already done my research on that side. The other side is now, if you endorse one side, you now get vindicated, or you actually get like viscerated by the side. I don't viscerate nobody. All I say is, have you done your research? I didn't give a fuck about Hulk Hogan. And here's my point though, real quick.
Yeah.
Dan Campbell is taking heat because a guy who supported Trump was at practice.
Right.
That is the point I made. I didn't say I'm a Hulk Hogan. I don't give a shit about.
No, but I'm saying you brought up Hulk Hogan. I'm talking about like a week or so ago. Like whenever at the RNC when he actually ripped his shirt, you brought it up. And I'm using him as an example. But when he did it, like you had a rant, and you were almost praising it. Is what I'm saying. Like your tone was in a praising tone versus when the other side.
I started to show off by saying Hulk Hogan out here. I didn't even know he was out there. I don't know shit about Hulk Hogan and Donald Trump relationship, or I didn't even know he was going that way. All I know is that Kamala, if you look at what's going on right now by people endorsing her, it's all about race. That's the number one thing. And like that's the only thing is why I'm bringing it up. And you know damn well Steve Kerr coaches who? Brothers. So he's made it about race, like Popovich has, like other people have. Do your research. There's too many folks out here making this hasty judgment on just because we think she's a black female in America, but we're not really. It's a think, it's a thought. Like,
let me ask you this real quick.
But race don't come into Trump is all my point was. Race don't come into Trump.
Well,
now you can talk about he's racist. I'm talking about race. Like, we're not talking about white. He's a white boy.
You honestly believe though, like let's use Steve Kerr for example, because you're right. There's going to be a lot of black people who are going to vote for Kamala because she went to a HBCU. I think she's a Delta. She's a part of the culture, whether you call it Jamaican, Indian, whatever. She's a part of like the black culture. So people are going to vote for her because of that. Not saying that's right, but you know that it's going to happen. But using Steve Kerr as the example because you brought him up, and we're going to go to quarter of the day next. You really think that Steve Kerr was like, you know what? I'm going to endorse Kamala because she's black, and I'm going to vote for her because she's black. And that's it. You think Steve Kerr, then he don't know anything about her. He just looked at her and said, she's black. I'm a white man. She's black. I coach black players. I'm voting for her. It was that simple.
Yes, it's an
Okay,
interest.
all right, cool. I mean, hey,
No, and I'll give, but I'm not like these trolls. I don't just say yes or no one-word answers. I give you some context behind it and some actual research and data and statistics to back it. Steve Kerr is going to say yes to Kamala Harris because she's a black female for one major reason. It's an interest protection. That is his interest. His best interest is black males that he coaches in the NBA, which is 99% black dominated. Mm-hmm. Why would you go against the grain that pays you? By the way, this is a man, Smitty, that's father was assassinated in the Middle East by Hamas. These cats that are over here, these radicals that are on our soil, defacing our statues in Washington, D.C., homie. Like, make it make sense. Your dad was assassinated as a UCLA professor, homie, overseas in the Middle East, and you're okay with our borders being open to radical Syrians, radical Hamases, radical Palestinians, radical whoever, North Koreans, Chinese, and you're okay with it. To me, it is a selfish act to vote without doing any research at all.
I agree with that statement.
And I'm only saying that, Smitty, because of this. Fuck me, fuck you, fuck everybody. Our babies, our kids, our futures, our young ones. We're allowing our borders and our other things to be compromised, jeopardized because of a selfish vote that we will do no research in and just say, oh, she's a sister, she's a female. Let me go holler. Let me do that. Like,
let me ask you this, and I know we got to go, Betty. I know he's pissing about. I'm so sorry, baby. I promise that we're gonna move on. What if somebody does their research? They find some good from Kamala. They find some bad, like the border stuff, like some other stuff, whatever. But they do find some good too. They do the same thing with Trump. They find some good about Trump because there's some good stuff, and there's also some bad stuff about both candidates because nobody's perfect. And through their research, they decide to vote for Kamala. Is that an issue?
Not because again, I don't care. I don't care who you vote for.
The energy you put out from this is my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm saying you make comments. Matter of fact, I think the last 2 days on the show, you said if you're a man and you vote for Kamala, you're a bitch. Now you were halfway joking, but
I didn't say you're a bitch. I didn't say you're a bitch.
What'd you say?
You're gay.
All right. My fault. You said that.
Please make sure we're clear on that. Like, yeah. I did not say you're a bitch, Smitty, if you vote for Kamala. I said you're gay. There's a huge difference. Like, and I tweeted out yesterday. I said, Steve Kerr, it makes sense. You're gay. Listen, this is the thing. Any man, it's a real man that sees what's wrong in this country right now. That's what's going on in this country right now with the illegals assaulting our elderly women, our females, our babies, our kids. And you continue to vote that way, to me, it's ignorance and that's life-threatening. And there's no way a man, an alpha male, which America used to be, can go out there and say, oh, let me do research. Number one, you won't find, if any, too many things that Kamala has done, number one. Number two, in a positive way. Number two, for this country. Number two, if I ask anybody right now, what is Kamala's mission statement? What has Kamala done for America? What can she do going forward? I bet you 99.9% of you couldn't give me a one-worded, one-phrase answer. You can't. I can give you multiple ones for a guy that's not even a political figure, Donald Trump, who I have never been a real fan of. But I know what happened under his watch. That's all I'm saying. That's the only difference right here. This other female I know what happened under her watch. I'm from her state. She's from my state. So, like, let's keep it real. Like, I know what's happened to my homies and inner city brothers that I grew up with underneath Kamala, homie. Like, y'all don't. Go do that research now. We already know what Trump is, homie. Like, that's what I don't understand. He's on his second go-round on this.
Right.
So, like, now you have an obligation to your families.
I agree.
100%. Not you. I'm saying.
No, I know, but I'm just saying I agree with you, though. I'm with you, though. Like,
yeah, but we have an obligation.
We can't just vote. Because I'm not gonna lie, I've done that before. Like the first time I ever voted, I've done that before where I did very minimal research and I'm just talking to homies and I made a stupid decision. I told my like one of my close guys, I said, bro, I feel horrible. I said, like, I would never do this again. I would never, like I said, it was stupid. Like, I admitted all that. Everything you said, I agree 10,000%. The only reason you should only vote if you do your deep dive in your research. It's the only way you can do it. But if you do your research, all I'm saying is you have the freedom to vote left or vote right. Like, I don't come on this show and like bash you for wearing a Trump shirt. Or we had Erdak on here. I don't bash for wearing a shirt. But if somebody came on this show and they had a fucking Kamala Harris shirt, I know you, JB. I'm not saying you're gonna bash them, but it's definitely gonna be pushing at them, is what I'm saying. Versus the Trump shirt, you're gonna be more supportive. That's all I'm
because
saying.
I've said over and over, if you guys really listen to what I say and what and examples that I've shared on this show, is I've always talked about barbershop banter.
Right.
Whether you blood, crip, right, left, blue, red, whether I go pick up my pops from a bar in the middle of Redneckville or in the hood and he's chilling with his homies that he grew up with, his some brothers. And I go in there and some are right, some are left, arguing. And at the end of the day, we break bread together, we drink together. I never held a grudge for any side you pick, unless your side and you are trying to push something on me to hurt my family, my kids, something of that agenda, which this left Democratic Party is particularly doing with our youth, with the whole LGBTQ, with certain things. And that is why I say,
Kamala pushing that, or is our local is Governor is Newsom here in California specifically pushing things? Like there's a difference between federal law and state. I'm not no genius, but I know some stuff. It's different between federal regulations and state and local law and stuff like that. California itself is progressive. We understand all that, but like I feel like sometimes we blur the two. Like we blur what's happening right here, specifically in California, and what Newsom got going on, and connect that directly with the plan that Kamala here. I don't know what her plan yet. She just announced that she just dropped her first ad like yesterday. Like I don't even.
Who was the ad with, Smitty? Come on, dog, wake up, homie. Rue fucking Paul, Smitty. What is that? A made-up human, homie. What do you mean? What is she pushing? And I'm not yelling at you. I'm just telling the people in America, everybody, dog, like, oh, wake up. Her first ad campaign is with a bunch of made-up fucking humans with a mask on, and we don't know what she's pushing? Like, come on, homie. Like, how fucking ignorant are we? Like, we don't see her agenda? By the way, Smitty, you just named two things that you just said.
Yeah.
Guess what's synonymous with each other? Newsom and fucking Harris. They're from here. They're from the same state. They push the same agendas. What do you mean? What do you think they got it from? Dog, here's what I got my blood boiling right now for one fucking simple fact. TikTok just banned me again. I want you to hear this. I want you to hear this, though. First time I've ever seen this. Reasoning. TikTok has enriched by the various backgrounds of our community members. Our differences should be respected rather than a cause for division. We do not allow any hateful behavior, hate speech, or political promotion of any ideologies. This includes content that attacks a person or group because of protected attributes. Visit our community guidelines. First of all, I never attacked any motherfucking body. Here, this is TikTok for you, homie, and you wonder why I don't do that shit like that. You wonder why I don't fuck with that TikTok shit. This is a fucking agenda that they push because some certain people are in bed with certain people. Why can't I ask a serious question? This is what got me hot right now. I could delete TikTok. I give a fuck right now. Because freedom of speech is what we're supposed to be built on. Just throwing it out there. We don't have.
There's always been consequences, JB.
But freedom of speech is what this country was built on. Don't turn and switch it. Let's just talk about that. Let's just talk about that right now. Freedom of speech is what we were talked about and what we were built on in this country in the 1800s. Let me ask you something. Why can Amazon, a company that is a conglomerate, one of one company, take down a t-shirt that had a rainbow on it that somebody burned and it had a fire. It was like it was burning. It was a shirt that was made that it was like a fire engulfed the rainbow.
Yeah.
Amazon took it down, suspended it. Okay, just listen to what I'm saying. Why is right now on Amazon right now, it says we hope Donald Trump is murdered. That's a T-shirt, homie, and Amazon has it and is promoting it.
That should be removed.
Make it make sense. It won't be removed, homie. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. You got to wake up and understand. There are certain people in bed with certain people, and there's others that aren't. And the ones that aren't are, guess what? They're the ones that you're going to get all the hate for. They're the ones that did this. They did that. They're doing this. But the ones that are actually doing it, homie, are actually being praised. They're going to make Kamala Harris, Smitty, out to be a angel. When in fact, the truth is that's not what she is.
I got a question for you too. When you tell the people to research, I'm gonna ask you because you've done your research. You said so. I'm asking just for as a friend. I'm asking for your advice in research. When you say research, like, are you simply just mean like do your deep dive on Google, do your deep dive on social media, do your deep dive on? Is there particular sources that you're going to? Are you reading books? I'm just when you say that. Because I know you've also said before that like a lot of shit you probably won't even be able to find, you know what I'm saying, on the candidates because they hide certain things. They keep certain things away from. They keep certain. So I'm saying that, you know, if that's the case, like what is the best route of research? Because we also know this, you know, CNN is going to favor one way over another. Fox News is going to favor one side or another. They go. So depending what you're reading or who article you're under, it may be biased based upon whatever side.
I don't go do research like I don't go do research through any of those media outlets. I go our number one research, Smitty. If you really are, you're too smart. I'm just going to tell you right now.
I'm just talking to you in general. I know. I'm just like, yeah.
I'm just saying you are too smart to understand that there's not a way to turn over rocks and see what's going on and find out why. What can Smitty do? Here's what I would say. My number one research is history. Is history repeating itself? What happened throughout history and what has happened to this point? That's not on Google. You don't have to go to CNN for that. You go find out this is what's happened. What happened to my particular people? If I'm Smitty, what's happened to my fellow brothers and sisters? Let me do a deep dive as to what happened with Kamala Harris, Governor Newsom, California. What's happened to black folks in certain areas in California where this lady supposedly has come from? Now, if I do that research and deep dive, which my homeboy OG homies are doing right now and they've been doing, and a couple of them are victims of what she's done to them. So they're like automatically like, what? Fuck you, right?
Of course.
So just like we used to be, y'all say 12 and blue is let's get you rid of the blue and all that shit. Guess what? Y'all didn't do a deep research dive on the blue and 12. What happened, Smitty? What really happened? Your homies.
Maybe the mindset of growing up in the hood, you know, being around hustlers, doing stuff that maybe you shouldn't be doing, and they getting arrested by cops. So it was like you look at cops as the enemies.
That's it. Just say that was it. You didn't do a deep dive. You had one experience where a popo pulled you over and talked to you a certain way, cuffed you, threw you down. You was with some homies. 10 years later, you're like, fuck, I was with two dumbass knuckleheads. They had a rap sheet. That's my issue. That's my
Big Matt Machete's in the building. We're gonna bring this back later, man. But it's time to talk a little bit of sports.
I'm not ready just to pop a guy in right away. I'm fucking talking. God damn. What's up, Matt?
Good morning. Happy Friday.
Good morning. Your camera is like real crisp and clear. I like it.
Yeah, I forgot my computer. I'm using my phone.
Oh, okay. Interesting. The phone camera. You make up the iPhone 29 or something, boy. It's clear.
Phones are better than fucking these cameras now.
It's crazy, ain't it?
It's another fucking scam, by the way.
They fuck you at the drive-thru.
They got fucking banned me on TikTok, took me off Instagram already.
They banned you off TikTok.
G Wizzle, shut the fuck up, G Wizzy. You're a fucking nobody.
JB, you sound
by the way, Smitty, yeah, I am mad, Smitty, but you know why? Reed Hastings, who texted me, who I have a fucking text from, who's the owner of Netflix, okay? Owner of Netflix. I'm getting feedback. Are you? Owner of Netflix.
A little bit.
gave me $5,000. Gave me $5,000 for a turf field at Indy after I've made him $4 billion, this fucking cunt. And now, by the way, he gave $17 million to Kamala yesterday with his woke ass. Ooh. Fuck Pete Hastings. Fuck Netflix. Fuck all you motherfuckers. Anyway, let's move on.
Well, that documentary that we had cooking up is not going to Netflix. Let's try Hulu next. Hey, Big Mac, though, man. Hey, I'm so happy to have you here on this beautiful Friday, my guy. You know we got to talk some Colorado when we got you on the show. But we're going to start off right here.
Matt, turn your volume down a little bit, Matt.
CSU fans versus Big Matt McChesney. So, word on the street is that CSU fans are not happy about your take on Jay Norvell's comments on Coach Prime. So, I got to ask you, Matt, what's your response to CSU fans coming at you headed into this season?
Bring it. I mean, I love this shit. I want CU and CSU fans contentious and mad at each other. So, I'm not friends with y'all. You're not friends with me. We don't run in the same circle. I don't want you at my facility. Like it's all good. Like we're not boys. We're not friends. We ain't pals. There's no like nice guy shit here. I don't want your jersey after the game. Fuck y'all. So I don't care if you don't like it. You know, it's what I think is true. And the fact that you guys are so hung up on Colorado and me and Coach Prime and all this other shit. I wonder how bad week one's going to be when Texas absolutely shit stomps the fuck out of you in Austin. Because you guys are not focused on Texas at all. You're focused on CU, and that's week 3. So, look, man, our real rival is the second week of the season when we go to Lincoln. Our little brother is the third week of the season when we go to Fort Collins. So, I understand people are upset, but again, like, if you really think that I don't read your comments in the first place, so I don't give a shit what the fans think, but the fact that there are so many people outraged and you guys are bringing it up and Bailey's bringing it up and it's blowing up on social media, that's the whole point. That means, like, all I have to do is say one or two things, say ba and fuck Jay Norvell, and you guys lose your fucking minds. And that's good. I'm glad that you guys lost your minds because it just exposes you for the sheep that you are. Honestly, when they talk shit to me, Smitty and JB, I don't really understand them because I don't know what ba means.
I don't either. Ba-ba.
Ba-ba.
I think I got a new I'm gonna start going after every year I go after somebody. Last year, a few years been Mahomes. This year I'm gonna go after Paul Feinbaum. Smitty calls him Finnebom. He's like, I think he's the new troll on ESPN. He's starting to like go at a lot of different folks. I want to start up some beef to get him to come at me so I can go on his show or something maybe.
I'm so glad that you're on my because when I called him Finnebound, I was joking. You was like, hell no, we ain't gonna ever disrespect him like that. That's my guy, it's my best friend. I respect him. I've been in this corner since he started. Now you're starting to come to my side a little bit, JB. You're starting to be like, all right. Smitty was always right.
I can't hear you.
Hey, today's
I can't hear either of you for some reason.
Refresh, Matt. I'm trying to tell Matt to refresh.
He got a phone call and his shit fucked up.
My phone do that every single time. Yeah, tell him to leave and go. Baby. Matt.
Hey, restart your phone.
Matt, leave and come back. You leave and come back. Restart your phone. There we go.
Hey, real quick. First of all, I never said any of that about Fanbomb. Number two, real quick. I want to be clear. I want to start a new beef with him because he came out today and said that Matt Rule is not a professional. He was a disaster in Carolina, and he shouldn't talk about other professionals like Ryan Day and Michigan.
I love you guys, man.
Feinbaum? Are you fucking kidding? So Feinbaum went after Matt Rule today.
He went after Rule too.
Yeah.
What is with this fucking guy, man? And then like in 2 days from now, he'll probably try to be cool to him and say something nice.
Well, now he'll try to interview him. He'll try to interview him, and Lane Kiffin or somebody will call him out.
And he needs to be called out. Paul is a joke, bro. Like, I think he's a clown. Like the moral authority or high ground that he thinks he has because he works for ESPN is unbelievable to me. It's like, if you pulled the ESPN rug from him, he would be nothing. No one takes that guy fucking seriously. He's like the Mel Kiper of college football. That's it. Mel Kiper in the NFL. No one takes that guy fucking seriously. He gets up there and talks and rants and raves about the draft. But other than that, you don't hear him. He's terrible. So Paul Feinbaum, this guy knows that he can say outlandish shit, and it's going to get real football heads aggravated. But he's just, it seems like this guy's like a real estate agent or a fucking investment banker that just kind of fell into talking about football. Has no idea what he's talking about, never played, couldn't fucking tie his shoes if he tried. But he has the audacity to just call out everybody all the time. I mean, I think he's a real clout-chasing bitch, personally. And I have no problem saying that. I do not like him.
Well, I think, Bailey, you got the actual video real quick of him talking on Rule. Can we listen to it real quick, Bailey?
4 teams from this league should get in every year because this is the best league. This is the NFL of college football on my mind. It stretches from coast to coast, different time zones, different weather. That's not to diminish any other league. The SEC is amazing. These other leagues are great, but the challenge in the Big Ten is going to be really difficult.
So he says the Big Ten should just automatically get 4 teams in the playoff. Paul, what do you think of that?
Matt, stay in your lane, okay? Job one, win enough games to get to some stupid bowl game. Don't worry about the big boys because you're not one of them. We saw what you did in the NFL. You were a complete disaster in Carolina. You somehow got this job in Nebraska.
Whoa.
Hold on real quick. This man says stay in your lane. Just sit on that for a quick second. The irony of you telling an actual football coach with years and years of experience to stay in his lane. That's the most ironic statement you could make. You're telling an actual football guy to stay in his lane about football. Go ahead, man.
This is what I'm talking about, bro. This is unreal. This is so just
Matt, let me
backwards to me.
Before you go at his ass, let me just say real quick. He'll suck Nick Saban's dick till his skin is gone. But he won't. Why haven't I heard him talk about Nick Saban in Miami? Why hasn't he said, stay in your lane, Nick Saban, when he was a Miami Dolphin disastrous head coach? Why haven't you talked about that, Nick Saban? So Matt Rule can take a shot at the NFL and fail, but you'll take a shot at him and say he was a disaster. But Nick Saban can do it and be still the god because you're an Alabama dick rider. And by the way, I think Urban Meyer tried it and failed miserably too. I think Pete Carroll actually is the only one that really had success other than Jimmy Johnson that went from college to pro. But Pete was a pro first. People don't know that. So, it's crazy to me. It's crazy. Go ahead, man.
Well, this is my thing with Feinbaum is he seems like he's a guy that he talks about the history of the sport. He falls back on it a lot when he's trying to make a point, yet he doesn't think about it when he makes other points. Like Matt Rule's a program rebuilder. He's done it everywhere he's gone. They were shitty, and then all of a sudden they're in conference title games or ranked in the top 5 everywhere he's gone. Temple, Baylor, so on and so forth. The Carolina Panthers thing did not work. It's not just him. It was just a bad fit for everyone. Ownership was bad. They were transitioning there. He wasn't a good fit. They didn't have good quarterback play. It was just bad everywhere. So my thing with Feinbaum is he's never experienced the failure on the field as a player. He's never experienced failure on the field as a coach. He's never been on the other side of the microphone where he's got to answer the hard questions. You can't dodge the shit or blame it on somebody else or say they're ridiculous, whatever, after a loss. So Paul is always just the antagonist. He's trying to sit there and poke and prod and get people going, but he has no frame of reference on what it's like to actually feel the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. So that's my problem with this guy is he's just a shit-talking punk, bro, and I can't believe that ESPN still can't see through this. Like, there's a reason ESPN's ratings are so fucking terrible these days. It's because they put clowns like this on their fucking shows, and people are tired of it. They can actually come and see real shit. Best show on Planet ERF here. You can come watch 0 to 60, great show. You can go fucking, go anywhere on social media and find somebody more qualified and better than Paul Feinbaum's busted ass trying to talk about all this. So, look, the Big Ten, in my opinion, is elite. It is coast to coast. It's a great conference. It's right there next to the SEC. I mean, they are both just about as dominant as it gets. If the Big 12 does expand to 24 the way I'm thinking it's going to, and the way I'm hearing it's going to, I think that you're going to have 3 major conferences there, and then it'll force, the SEC and the Big 10 to maybe go to 24 as well. And there's your 3 major conferences, and we're rolling. So, I love the competition between the conferences. I love the rivalry between the SEC and the Big Ten too. That's good for college football. But Feinbaum, it's like Saban's got blackmail on him, so he doesn't say anything bad about Nick. But there's not really anything you can say bad about Nick. I mean, what can you say about Nick Saban that's negative, really, too? So
here's my take, Matt and Smitty. The crazy part is, like, I put Paul Feinbaum in the same category as Mina Kimes. There's no difference.
Yeah, she's terrible, too.
And the reason I'm saying that, to Smitty's point, is, like, if I'm going to be fair and not a hypocrite, and I'm going to pick on Mina Kimes for not playing and being this person that I don't respect at all, I don't respect Paul Feinbaum either. Paul Feinbaum didn't play a fucking down either. Paul Feinbaum never did anything either. So to me, they're in the same fucking boat. So I'm going to at least be honest.
But at least with Mina Kimes, like, maybe you don't like her or whatever, which is cool, but like I don't see her coming out with these hot ass takes like this. She's more just like an analytical, give you numbers, and then like she does. That's her role. She's not out here saying
neither one of them are qualified enough to actually.
You must have not heard her. You must have not heard her. You must have not heard her before.
Yeah,
tell Pete Carroll exactly who to draft in the draft at quarterback. So that
it's like when Todd Haley got hired to be the head coach for the Chiefs. The fucking guy's a golfer. Like, I'm sorry, but at some point he's going to say something, and everyone in the room, especially if they're struggling, is going to go, "What the fuck does this guy know? He's a golfer." Like, I'm sorry, but that is the way this works. I understand that the woke fucking left is going to get angry because everybody's not getting treated the same as shit. But I'm sorry, if you didn't play or coach or you don't have you never put your hand on the fucking ground, you never ran through somebody, it's hard for me to take everything you say seriously. We can talk. But at some point when they're like, "Oh, look at the physicality is incredible, and this is this," and then they're trying to give their opinion on it, I'm sorry, but it's like me giving my opinion on fucking figure skating, dog. I have no idea what I'm talking about. So it's just amazing to me how many people out here in the world who don't know shit about football think that they can just immerse themselves in it, and then all of a sudden, because of the culture we live in, they're not going to get called on it. So the war on political correctness is over, thank God. So now you can just start telling people the way it is again.
There it is, man. Hey, just transition to the NFL and your team, the New York Jets. There was a clip going out. You know, obviously training camp has started. Saw Aaron Rodgers hitting Garrett Wilson on the deep pass. A beautiful ball, beautiful throw. What are your expectations, I guess, early expectations right now for the Jets, assuming obviously A-Rod stays healthy with all the pieces they have on defense, wide out, everywhere else? What are your realistic expectations right now, Matt?
Win the East, period. I mean, they've got, if they can figure out a way to get Hassan Reddick on the field, that's another huge asset. They're young around Rodgers. He is super veteran and, you know, he's got 4 MVPs and a Super Bowl. And he needs, if Aaron Rodgers can go be the guy who, you know, wins another Super Bowl, you know, Peyton did it in Indy and in Denver. If Aaron can go win one in Green Bay and New York, and I saw USA Today projected the Super Bowl is going to be the Jets against the Packers. That would be fucking crazy. I mean, that would just be insane. So I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but just imagine the hype around that fucking game. So
in New Orleans,
look, Aaron Rodgers needs it for his career, for all the haters. You know, there's a lot of people that just don't like that cat. And it's understandable. I mean, he's kind of a douche, but he's a hell of a quarterback. So if he can stay healthy, they are going to be really, really dangerous. That's my expectation. So I just don't think you can be that, like, explosive around him with all these players, and then you inject a great quarterback, and all of a sudden they don't play well. I just don't see it happening. So
I'm with you.
The Jets are scary, bro. I think that they're scary in the fact that if they win, they're going to really be on a roll. And they're scary in the fact that if they go on a losing streak or things don't work out well, they could tank and be just an absolute utter disaster.
It's like one extreme or the other.
There's no middle ground here with this team. They're either to the fucking moon or straight to hell.
Yeah, no, that's a real one, man. In the event, let's say the Jets do go out here and win a Super Bowl, Aaron Rodgers gets another ring. What does that do for his legacy? Like, does that really change things for you, or do you feel like, you know, he's played so long that whatever you think about Aaron is what you think about him at this point?
No, I think if he wins a Super Bowl with the Jets, it's going to change my perception, because I know I played for that franchise. I know how they sold it. I mean, Joe Namath sold his soul to the fucking devil to get that Super Bowl. So, and it's a running joke, but it's also ha ha he like
Right.
Something that everybody thinks might have happened. So I think that if A-Rod can go win a Super Bowl in New York here with the Jets, it elevates him to another fucking godlike level in New York, obviously. And then, it puts him in the upper echelon where he's already at. I think he's a top 10 quarterback. He's one of the most gifted throwers of the ball I've ever seen. But there is this huge narrative around him that the NFC title game is it's his stick point, bro. He can't get past the NFC title game. And he's been, I don't know how many he's been in, 5 or 6 maybe.
Oh my
and
God.
he's only been to 1 Super Bowl. So
hey, I gotta take that. I'll be right back, guys.
Yeah, you take your time there, Chief. I think Rodgers is special. Obviously, he's a great fucking player, first ballot Hall of Famer. Not everybody likes him, but the guys who play for him and play with him love him.
Right.
Like my boy David Bakhtiari played next to him, played left tackle for him for years, and you couldn't find a closer bond. Mason Crosby was their kicker up there for years. You can't find a closer bond.
James Jones, who I work with, loves him.
I know. Yeah.
James Jones loves him every day.
The Jets are very. What do you think, dog? You think that they can actually do this?
Yeah, I believe so, man. Like, I think people are discrediting Aaron Rodgers because his last healthy season and I put healthy with quotes because people, like, for some reason, the media never points out the fact that he had like a jacked up thumb on his throwing hand. We never bring that up. But people keep continuing to bash him, say, oh, he looked horrible in his last year. They lost against the Detroit Lions in that last game, which they needed to make the playoffs. And then last year, obviously, he played 4 snaps and got hurt and towards Achilles. So now people are like, he's 40 years old, coming off an Achilles injury. His last full season he played, he didn't look good. So there's a lot of media members out there who are not believing that we will see the Aaron Rodgers of old and
this
see
looks like
old Aaron Rodgers
to me.
Come on now.
Fucking throw, dog.
And my thing is too, Matt. Let's say Aaron Rodgers isn't like MVP level. Okay, cool. If he's just decent with that roster around him, we saw how they compete the last 2 years with nobody at quarterback respectfully. And they were damn near in a lot of games that could have went this way or this way. If he goes out there and he just doesn't mess it up, I think they can still win like 10 games just off a base level.
Get in as a wild card. I agree. He doesn't need to be fucking Superman. He doesn't need to go 50 touchdowns, but he goes 35 and 10 picks.
Come on,
and like 3,800 and Breece Hall and those boys behind in the offensive line, he goes for maybe 1,100, 1,200 yards, and you can't really decipher which head of the monster is going to be biting the ass that day.
Yeah.
Plus, you got a defense that when you get a lead, can just put their hand on the ground and go fucking pass rush, dog. Especially with this on Reddick coming off the edge. So everything's set up here for the Jets to really, really, really go maximize this moment. Because if it doesn't work, everyone's gone. A-Rod's gone, coach is gone, the GM's gone, the fucking owner might fire himself. There's going to be some major problems in Johnson & Johnson.
He gonna steal the team, Matt?
For real, just like
I'm done. I gave it my all.
Exactly.
I love it, man. I love it. Well, staying in the AFC, man, moving to the North, Joe Burrows, his offensive tackles, Trent Brown and Amarius Mills, man. Obviously, man, there's some pictures out there. Some large human beings right here, man. Large human beings.
Like, people don't understand. They look like normal walking next to each other because they're so big. And then you see them walking next to the running back guy and like normal people, and you're like, holy shit. They're like fucking Twin Towers, bro. It's like I'm watching Lord of the Rings or some shit. These two are huge.
They're like two just Marvel characters or something. Like
and the Mims kid, that's the cat from Georgia, right?
Yep.
Freak athlete too. Like I don't even think he's that good of a tackle. He doesn't even need to be. Yeah. He's like just learning every day. Like, you teach me to football, and he just goes out there and just starts kicking the shit out of everybody. He's a fucking animal.
How you say it, Matt?
You teach me to football.
See ball, get ball.
See ball, get ball. Teach football. Don't eat it.
Right. But looking at these two large human beings, man. Thinking about the Bengals and whole. Joe Burrow's back healthy. He got the new look with the blonde hair.
Got the fucking Slim Shady look. By the way, do you like the new Slim Shady?
I actually do.
The new album's nice.
I like it. Yeah, I listened to the whole thing. I'm a fan of it.
Correct. He's talking some shit, but that's why I like it so much.
He ain't holding back.
No.
I love that. And I love how he just played like he's tying into like the old school and bringing it now.
Look at
here goes his little brother right here. I don't like this look though, man. Keep it like. Are you a fan of this?
Well, it's training camp. So who else? I'm sure 2 or 3 other guys probably did this too. So he's got some roll dogs. But if it's just him, that's just him. I mean, look, young Slim Shady over here is going to go for about 5,000 yards passing this year. I think Joe Burrow is super pissed off that he got hurt last year and missed a window. You can tell when he starts talking like, I'm one of the best in the game. This is what I do. Like, he's not being cocky. He is telling to you, like, I'm about to fucking shred y'all. So get your mind right.
When he's healthy during the AFC Championship,
the haircut is just an indicator that, yeah, it's straight Wesley Snipes Demolition Man style here.
If there was ever because right now, obviously, Chiefs are the king of the mountain. They 2 in a row. They're trying to make history, win the 3rd in a row. But if there was any team in the NFL, specifically in the AFC, that the Chiefs should kind of not fear anybody, but just respect and kind of look over their shoulder, is the Bengals that team?
So, look, I think that there's 4 or 5 teams that can really give them a run, but now those teams have got to take that step. The Bengals have already done it once. So, obviously, they're there if they're healthy. Buffalo has had opportunities to do it multiple times, and they fucking fuck it up constantly. So, it's almost like the CU-CSU thing. Like, you got so many opportunities to beat a CSU, and then you fuck it up. So, Buffalo screwed that up at least 3 times off the top of my head, probably more. And they traded the damn pick to get Mahomes, and then they traded them a pick this year to get that fucking Worthy kid or that freak from Texas who is just 4 fucking 0, essentially, like just the fastest human being on the field. So there's 3 teams. I think if you're looking at, the rest of the guys that could beat them, I like the Jets' opportunity because they can get after the passer and they're pretty good in the secondary. And again, if they can get a home playoff game and force Kansas City to go to New York, maybe their road playoff game streak isn't as fortuitous for Kansas City. And then obviously Baltimore, you have to talk about them because eventually they're going to figure out how to really maximize their moment instead of just being so good in every other week, and then they get to one circumstance in the playoffs and can't figure it out. Jacksonville, I think they're going to be an improved team. We'll see what they can do. The AFC is pretty fucking deep.
That's what I'm saying. They're loaded.
I think that this, and I know people are going to shake their head and roll their eyes with this one, but don't underestimate the Raiders. Don't underestimate Antonio Pierce. Don't underestimate Max Crosby. Don't underestimate Gardner Minshew going in there and taking the reins there from O'Connell. I feel like that team is super underrated. They've got the leadership of an absolute bad motherfucker in '98, who I think is the best defensive player in football, and will be the defensive player of the year next year. But he can't be it if they're 6-11. But if they're 10-7 or 11-6, and they're the wild card, or maybe win the division, he can damn sure win it there. So don't sleep on this squad. I think the Raiders are going to give the Chiefs problems. Mahomes and Crosby have a legit inner, personal rivalry on top of the Raider-Chief rivalry. So there's respect there, but there's also severe hatred, and you want to beat your guy. So, yeah, I think do not sleep on the fucking Raiders. And then, look, you can look around there. I think the Colts are going to be a lot better than they were, especially with stability at the quarterback position. I think the Titans have the possibility of maybe being a pretty good team that gives everybody a good fight. Miami's going to be a really fucking hard out. They won. Did they win the East last year? No, Buffalo won the East. But Miami was the wild card and kind of fucked it up. So there's a ton of opportunity. Pittsburgh's going to be great if their defense plays well. Justin Fields looks like he's taking the reins from Russell Wilson. I don't think Russell's at this point. I would probably start Fields over Wilson, but again, they haven't even gone full pads yet. Not that it matters for quarterbacks, but you get my point. Cleveland again, the turds. How do the turds adjust to what they're doing and how they're doing it, so on and so forth? So the AFC's fucking loaded, guys. I'm so goddamn excited for football starting on.
I can hear it. I can hear it in your face is getting red. You're shaking.
We're about to leave here to go hit the fucking field this morning. We got a huge scrimmage over at Mount Vista in full pads, and Big Nick. Hey, he's somewhere over there. But he's going to be on my show this afternoon with me, and he's already starting at left guard as a freshman and really doing well. And I'm on his ass. I'm on his ass. I know you are.
I know you are.
The pride I feel for my son, and he honors his last name. It's awesome, bro.
That's gotta feel good, bro. I don't have any kids yet, but just like even me right now hearing you say that,
I'm getting
emotional. Like I feel my face like watering up because like as a man, you like it's your dream to just see your kid be
Big Nick from the house.
Nice to meet you, Nick.
Go today, right?
He big. Nick like 6'3" already. 6'3",
yeah,
250.
6'3", 245. Fucking.
Yeah, nice to meet you, man. Hey,
fuck yeah,
congratulations on all your success, man. Continue to shine, continue to grind. And I mean, I'm in your corner. We're in your corner. I love to see you have a great, amazing father.
Awesome.
I love to see this, man. Keep doing your thing.
Hey, so look, we're gonna hit the road and shit. We'll be back on Monday. I'm gonna try and get you and JB at some point as guests on show with Bailey and I as well. Yep. Tell Coach to double wipe because obviously he's got a little bit of a movement problem in there. And then look, you guys have a great week. Football's right around the corner, guys. I can't fucking wait. Everybody in the comments, we can't do this without y'all. Thank you so much. Make sure you go like and subscribe to everything with Coach JB and Big Smitty on their show. And then also come over to 0 to 60. Check it out on YouTube and Twitch and everything else we do. Like and subscribe there. You can become a member of the Dungeon family now for $2.99. And we're going to be posting a bunch of video from the scrimmages and everything else. And we appreciate the fuck out of y'all. Have yourself a great Friday.
Peace. All right, then, Matt, man. Appreciate you, Big Matt. Y'all clap it up for Matt McChesney for joining the show. But guess what, y'all? It's been a long time coming. I haven't done this in a long time, y'all. It's been a few weeks. Might have been over a month. But I got something on my mind. So I think it's time for an edition of Smitty Said So. Bailey, play my music. Cut it off. Cut it off. Listen, we're talking about NFL season. We're talking about football. And what's on my mind right now is the most underrated team going to the NFL season. And do you want to know who that is? It's my Indianapolis Colts. Everybody across the nation is sleeping on the Colts right now. There's no talk about how good they'll be within the division in the AFC South. No one's saying they're going to be true contenders. No one's saying they're going to truly compete this NFL season. And I'm just sitting back watching. And instead of being angry, I'm actually getting more and more excited about what's about to come this football season because I got the inside scoop of what's really going on. I got the goggles on in my city of Indianapolis, so I'm hearing rumors of how good AR5 is looking at the quarterback position. And guess what? That shoulder is healthy. That shoulder is healthy. That brain is healthy. That whole body is healthy right now. I'm hearing rumors about how great Jonathan Taylor's looking in the backfield. The best running back in the NFL, all due respect to CMC, who's amazing, who I'm a fan of, but there's levels to this thing. And JT is at the top tier level. Michael Pittman Jr. going into another year, the veteran wideout at the position. We got Josh Downs coming into a second year, learning the game more, ready to have an explosive season. We got a Donnie Mitchell, big-time receiver, who's pissed off. He feels like he should have got drafted sooner. So he's going to his rookie year with the mindset of proving everybody around him wrong. Offensive line built up with nothing but dogs, with Quentin Nelson and Ryan Kelly leading the way. And I ain't even got to the defense. Quiddy paid at DN. DeForest Buckner, who just got paid another bag. Earned, not given. Grover Stewart, who's a dog at the deep tackle position, one of the best defensive tackles in the game today. Samson Obukum at the other end. EJ Speed and the best linebacker in the game today, Zaire Franklin. Let me say it again. The best middle linebacker in the game today, Zaire Franklin. Y'all had him ranked number 100 out of the top 100 players this year. Respect, that's cool. Should have been higher. The guy, he's a ball hawk. He can run the field from left to right. He can cover when we need it. He's in the backfield. He's a true, when you look at football player, if you define football player, you go in the dictionary and look up football player, it should be a picture of Zaire Franklin right there like this. Because that's what he does. He balls out every single time. We got my guy Juju Brent at corner, Dub C4, Eastside Naptown legend. I'm telling y'all, man. And I can't forget about Kenny Moore. The best nickel corner in the game today. So when I look at the Indianapolis Colts right now, I look at the roster, I look at the growth, I look at the fact that we're healthy going into camp. I look at the fact that the team got together before camp out here in LA in my backyard to just come together, work together, grow together, learn together. I couldn't be more excited about my Indianapolis Colts this season. And I'm telling you right now, they are going to shock the world. And my bold statement of the day is you will see the Indianapolis Colts in the AFC Championship. Save this clip, bookmark this clip. If you want to hate on me, that's cool. Hate on your mama, tell your mama something, tell your daddy something, because at the end of the day, whatever I say, it's a fact because Smitty said so. We will be back at the break. We got a loaded show, more topics, more guests. Coach JB should be done with his number 2. We're going to keep this train rolling. Bailey, take us away. Quick commercial break. Peace.
Rick George in Colorado news again. Rick George has come out.
Colorado news, sweet.
Hey, Rick George has come out in some Colorado news and said this.
You just save all the Colorado shit for when I come on.
Yeah.
The only ones that are for you are in this room, in this building, and our fan base. Everybody else is against you.
Clean Jays.
You see all the naysayers out there. They got us 14th.
Discipline wins right there. Big as fuck. Look at that.
The conference. Figure that. 14th in the conference. That's a sign of a lack of respect. But the only way you get that respect is you go out and earn it.
Why is he reading off the thing?
It's about us. And I believe that you have to have an appetite for hard work. You gotta want it. Every day that you come in here, when you go down and see Mo and the team down there, you gotta want it. You gotta want to win that championship so bad that nothing else matters.
Now, look, be real careful, you two, going in on my man Rick George. I ain't gonna hear it.
I know Rick. I'm cool with Rick.
I'm cool with Rick. Me and Rick.
Be real careful here.
Hey, let me ask you something. First of all, I don't like that he's reading off the thing. I know Rick.
Who gives a shit? It's notes, dog.
Because I know Rick well enough, so he should have came in there and been like, "Hey, man, we're ranked 14th. Fuck that, let's go."
He did.
That's what I want to see. I don't want to see.
It's just notes, JB. Shit, man, we can't even note. You got
man,
notes.
JB, you know he hates notes. As a coach, like, you should.
I hate notes. I hate it.
To be here in heart.
You don't like notes? You don't want your players taking notes?
No, yes, my players.
The coach
I want everybody taking fucking notes, dude.
No. Matt's misunderstood.
I'm so confused right now. Why is
JB saying when a coach is talking to the team or like a speech to hype them up, whatever the case may be, it should be like natural. It should be from the brain, from the heart.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. Well,
come on, Matt. Come on, Matt. Matt.
It's a pretty funny thing to criticize, bro. He's the fucking AD.
Okay,
you're really reaching on this one, homie. He looked at his notes like twice.
Do it, JB.
And I'm doing Robert. Do
Robert Saleh.
The crow came down. Make sure you guys understand when the eagle flies, the crow could eat the eagle, and then you get 2 crows. And then, listen, HBO, I know we're on Hard Knocks. Goddamn. The eagle flew down, and Aaron Rodgers, he was going to stay healthy this year. Get the fuck out of here, man. It's so disinterested. I'm so fucking disinterested when I see a guy with notes. When I see a guy with notes as a head coach or a GM or an AD or a fucking owner, I don't need to see notes. Here's the thing about it. Matt, he said something though he said something that's gonna piss you off though, and I have to piss you off before you leave the show. I want to piss you off before you leave the show so we can get a good vertical.
You can't make me mad, motherfucker.
Here's the thing. He said one thing that stood out to me on his note cards. And what he said was, that should make you mad on blatant disrespect on how they have us ranked 14th. Why? Sure. Motherfucker, what have you done? What have you done in Colorado to deserve higher rankings? How are you ranking? Why should you be ranked higher than 14th?
So let's do it your way. You're ranked 14th, and that's where you belong. You all suck. Get better. That's not gonna work.
Fucking right. That's it, Matt. That's it. Exactly what I would have did. Exactly what I would have did. Here's what it's been right here. All right, guys, listen. They got us ranked 14th. Okay? Fucking 14th. 14th. And guess what? I'm going to give him a big shit fucking sandwich that we're ranked 14th. You know why we're 14th? Because we ain't done shit yet. We ain't busted a grape in a fruit fight yet, motherfuckers. So how about you fucking get off your soap story and feeling sorry and get your motherfucking asses ready to go win the goddamn conference. Now let's go and go. Yeah! Yeah! That's what they would have did. Fucking book.
Got y'all ass beat when they got your ass beat game one going against Ball State in Matts, Colorado.
Look, I personally think that Rick George is a G, and I love him, and he does a great job. He's not up there to hype everybody. He has been there forever, though, and seen greatness. He was part of the staff when they won in 1990. So
it's a dope name, Rick George.
He's been around, bro. Everybody knows Rick. So I think that him using a notepad or whatever, if that fires you up, then okay, that's what hill you want to die on. But I think he's actually done a really good job, and I don't have a problem with this at all.
No, I have no issue with that either. I was fucking around, but
I'll tell you this, bro. I don't know if I've ever been more nervous for the start of a season in my entire life.
Yeah, I'm talking about the fact that he said
North Dakota State is scaring the shit out of me.
What's going on? What's going on? We are back, man. We are back. Coach JB Show with Big Smitty in the second hour, man. My guy Shaun King will be joining us very, very soon to talk all things college football, NFL. We might even sprinkle in a little bit of boxing. You know, Shaun King is one of the best analysts in the game who does it. He can talk all things, all things. Coach JB, man, he'll be back here soon, man. I think he's dealing with some things right now. I think he's doing some things right now. You know, on that toilet is what that's what I'm thinking. I think he on that toilet. I think he ate something wrong last night. Probably didn't cook his meat all the way through. You know, WPS, and now he's on that toilet trying to get his stomach right. So T's and P's up for Coach JB. He'll be back, but right now, you know, Big Smitty gonna hold it down. So make sure you subscribe. Make sure you if you hit that like button. It don't take nothing to hit the like button. That's my thing. It takes 1, 2, 3 like. That quick, that easy. That's all you gotta do. But in the meantime, man, I'm gonna keep things rolling, man, and get back talking about NFL football. So, guys, the Raiders might have made the biggest mistake that they could have made all season long. I don't know if you guys saw this, man, but Raiders players were on video mimicking Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes with a Kermit the Frog doll with his jersey on it. Can we play the sound, Belly, too? Because real quick, before you do, listen very closely. I'm going to have Belly play it twice, back to back in a row. Listen very closely and tell me what word you guys hear in the background. Take it away, Belly.
I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. Yeah. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. Yeah.
Cut it off, babe. Cut it off, babe. Listen, I don't know who said it. I can't see who's around them. I can't tell if he said it. I don't know if a fan said it, if it's another player said it, if a teammate said it. But did y'all hear what I heard? Chat, did y'all hear what I heard? I heard bitch in the background. Somebody called Mahomes a bitch in the background. I know I heard it. Did you? Did you hear it? Come on now, listen. I'm not one of those guys typically that goes on here and be like, oh, you shouldn't have talked trash to that player because now he's going to play even harder. He's going to play even better. No. At the end of the day, your best is your best. You can't just outperform whatever your best is. Like, whatever that is what it's going to be. Mahomes was going to be full go against the Raiders anyway because that's the type of competitor that he is. He's the best quarterback in the game today. He's already an all-time great, and this is a divisional game. So he's already going to be ready for that game, regardless of this video or not. But I will say, man, that sometimes as an athlete, you go into certain games where you're ready and you're going to play hard and you're trying to go out there and ball out. But certain opponents, your energy is a little lower. Like you're not at 100%. You're at 80. You're at 82. You're 85. You're still there, but you're not all the way there. But something like this, a video like this where you're being disrespected and making fun of you in training camp, calling you Kermit the Frog, mimicking your voice. Somebody on the field called you a bitch. I heard it. I know y'all heard it. These things are things that will ignite a competitor even more. And I can see this being something that Patrick Mahomes writes on his calendar, writes in his notebook, and he uses as additional ammo to make sure that when they do face the Raiders, he's not at 82%. He's not at 85%. He's as close to 100% as possible. Now, again, I know it sounds like I'm contradicting myself. I'm not. You can't go more than 100%. We always say, I'm going to go 110 miles per hour. It's not possible. You can only be 100%. So again, this video isn't going to make you play better than 100%. My argument is it's a long NFL season, and sometimes you go into games and you're not as energized, and as passionate, as ready as you are in other weeks. But seeing this, we're going to see the best Patrick Mahomes that week, man. So this cat right here, man, I hear he was like a 7th round, I think, cat, or a 6th round cat. He's a little older. I mean, not a little older. He's a young guy. He got drafted late. Hopefully he doesn't get cut for this. Hopefully, and the only reason why I'm saying that because I've spoke to guys in the last 24 hours who played at a very, very, very high level. One of those guys being Shady McCoy, who was on the show I work on, Speak, and he was saying, like, listen, people get cut for things like this. If you're not like a top dog and you're a guy who's, like you said, trying to make the team, you're a 7th round guy, you barely got drafted, whatever, and you're out here making fun of the best player in the game, and you're putting a red dot on your team, you can get cut for that. So again, I'm not wishing that. I want my guy to play. I want to ball out. Young brother, just having fun at the end of the day. Didn't mean no harm. Probably a fan brought the puppet out there and he just grabbed it, having fun. But it just looks bad. And we know we live in an optic world right now. And just seeing him do that is a bad look. So he might have made a huge mistake, not only on his own individual career, but on the Raiders team as well. So we shall see. But hold on. Breaking news. Sound. I don't know what's going on right. Guess who's back again. Guess who's back. 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 I can't hear nothing you saying, JB. Wow. I did this beautiful intro.
Hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Eminem's another bitch made cat.
Eminem had a hell of an album, bro. Even me and Matt were talking about it when you left. Even Matt liked the album. It was a really good.
Fuck out of here. That motherfucker's always been a gimmicky
I'm
ass
surprised
weirdo.
you don't like his album because he's talking about the stuff that you talk about. Like
I know, I get
it. He goes at a lot of stuff. He's non-PC. He's making jokes about it. This is, if I ever heard a JB album, this is the album, and you still don't like him. That's crazy. And he's white. He's white. That's right up your alley.
You know me. I don't give a fuck about any color. Slap dick. Huh.
We all slap dicks though, JB.
But you know, a fuck stick, shitbird, and slap dick to have no color lines. Can we please get back to the show and start over?
Yeah, we ain't starting over, but I do want to make sure that we get to our lovely quote of the day because my energy not even right now because I haven't heard the quote. I ain't heard a contrary to believe. So JB, can you take it away real quick and go to the quote of the day, which is sponsored by who?
Bet Online. What up, man? The real Coach JB here for the Coach JB Show with Big Smitty. We got a proud new sponsor, of course, for the second part of the year, and that's Bet Online. Continue to be your number one source for all basketball wagering needs, including pro and college hoops throughout the year. March Madness is here. Join us every Monday and Friday with Jeff Nadu as we will pick them and up to minute odds, stats, and trends. You can follow your favorite team's path to the playoffs with in-game live betting, contests, and all the best player props. Experience the world's best wagering platform anytime from your desktop to your mobile device. Head on over to Bet Online today. Become part of the team and remember to use promo code BELIEVE, B-L-E-A-V, for 50% off plus welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online, where the game starts. Peace. Smitty, been a tumultuous little beginning of the day today, but nothing I can't overcome. Don't get it twisted. And I'm not blaming nobody. We're not going to cry and bitch. We're not going to do all that. But quote of the day, I sat down and did these last night.
Okay.
Quote of the day brought to you by Bet Online. Smitty, life is never fair. It's crazy how I got this quote after what's happened this morning. Life is never fair. If it was, I would have never made it.
Ooh,
I don't think cats even understand it.
I can tell you wrote that last night. Say it again. Say it again.
I don't think people understand what I just said, though.
They don't. They don't. They have no clue to say.
Understand. I don't think they're even going to understand it tomorrow.
Or the next day.
Life is never fair. If it was, I would have never made it.
Oh, my damn. Oh, my damn. What he's saying is, y'all, the way he grew up, the environment he was in, the predicament he was in, the family he was a part of, the situation that he was in, the stuff he's seen with his own eyes, the bodies he walked by, the friends he lost, the family members he lost, the school he went to, the lack of resources that he had, the jail cell that he was behind, all the fights, all the hardships, the trial and tribulation, the car that he lived in for over a year in Compton, in the midst of Compton, when it was really Compton. All those factors, if life was fair, he wouldn't be here today to share his damn story. He'd be dead or in jail. That's what he's telling you right now. But instead, he's here making money, coaching guys for years, sending 200 plus to college, to D1, to NFL. That's one of the realest things you've ever said on this damn show, JB.
Critical thinkers will understand it. There's too many shallow-minded thinkers in this chat, in this world, in this life that we walk amongst that don't understand and can't outside the box forward think. It's crazy to me. You don't got to be a fucking genius savant, Albert Einstein, to actually be a critical thinker. Critical thinking means just, let me take race and color out of it, regardless of my race and color. Let me take out the norm thinking by all the majority. Let me take that out. Let me not just listen to the naysayers and the majority. And let me make my own fucking cognitive thoughts and come up with my own ideology, philosophy, and reasoning. That's the fucking critical thinking part that we lack. But it is what it is. Quote of the day, drop that. I'll put it on a t-shirt today. Put it on CoachJBStore.com. Contrary to belief, brought to you by Prize Picks. Here's another one, Smitty. These are all mine, and it's crazy segues that these are coming in on. Oh. We are here to add what we can to life, not to get what we can from life.
Oh my God, JB. Why are you preaching like this on the damn Friday? It's not Sunday. We're not in church right now. We're not in Missionary Baptist Church on Western. We right into Friday.
We got that's a problem. We don't add shit to this life. All we do is want. Motherfuckers don't give shit back. You wonder why the oceans are filled with plastic. Our fucking wildlife is dying. Our fucking trees and our forests and our fires. Some fucking shitbird in JUCO, California, right up here in Northern California. #1 party school in America, JUCO State. Some fucking derelict degenerate started the largest fire in California yesterday. Because this dumb motherfucker has no fucking value for anything on this planet. We aren't adding shit to this life. All these motherfuckers want to know is what they can get from it. Fucking blows my mind, homie.
JB, can I pray for you right now on this live on this show?
Yep.
Put your head down. Lord God, we want to thank you for bringing us here together on this show. Thank you for allowing us to get through the week on this beautiful Friday. Lord God, whatever that my co-host and my friend JB is going through, I pray that you give him the strength, the mental fortitude, the will, and the courage, Lord God, to get through that with ease, Lord God. I pray that everyone in this chat right now, no matter where they from, if they got hate in their heart, I pray that you remove that hate and you fill it with love. I don't care if you're left, if you're right, if you're blue, green, white, orange, or whatever. We all human beings at the end of the day. And I pray that we can spread love. I pray that you bring positivity. You bring dreams to light. And I pray that you keep us all healthy. You keep us safe. You pray for our families, Lord God, as we go into this weekend. And we just thank you for this beautiful, amazing moment. Thank you for the faith that you put into our spirits to continue to do this show. And I pray that you breathe life into this show, Lord God. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Here's the thing.
I feel good. That was a prayer right there. You can't top 10 prayer you didn't heard in a long time.
Yeah, that was a prayer.
That was a prayer. That was
by the way, the left Kamala Harris and them don't want prayer in school, homie. I'm just throwing that out there, bro. I keep it real, Smitty.
No, did she say that for real, though?
Yeah, what do you mean? They're the ones pushing this shit. Smitty.
Send me the article that Kamala said she don't want prayer in the school.
That right there, that prayer you just dropped on this show.
Yeah.
Goes against every left ideology out there. And that should tell you right there that you should sit there and be like, hold up, dog. You don't want me to pray? The left has already removed prayer, Smitty. That's the one. They're the ones that removed it, not the fucking radical right and all this shit that everyone said. The left removed it. They took away the Pledge of Allegiance. They took away prayer in school. They took away prayer in football. Come on, homie. Get the fuck. This is the left. Gee Wizzy, shut the fuck up, you fucking bitch. Shut your bitch ass up. You wouldn't last a fucking day with me, motherfucker. You wouldn't last one fucking day with me, homeboy. Not anywhere. Smitty, just telling you, dog. We just want to. We don't add shit to life, homie. There's sharks now with cocaine in them. We're finding sharks in the water with cocaine in them.
They've been doing that since I was like, since the 90s.
What did that tell you, homie? No. They're ingesting cocaine in the oceans.
Oh.
Like, what the fuck does that tell you? Like, come on, man. Anyway, life is never fair. If it was, none of us would have made it. And contrary to belief, if we are here to add what we can to life, that's what we're here for. Not to get what we can from life. It just doesn't make sense. These motherfuckers just want. It's fucking unbelievable. Smitty, by the way, I was talking about Eminem and I went after it and you were like, he a white dude. And that should have, did that open up a piece of your brain at all?
It did look like a small piece.
No, but like, what did it tell you? Maybe that color don't mean shit. And maybe that I could actually be real, like, real.
I don't think it may not mean nothing to you fully, but unfortunately, the world don't think the way you think. And to a lot of people, black or white, it does mean something.
I know, but that's my thing. Like, I don't believe you should be pro-white. I don't think you should be pro-black. I don't think, by the way, if I cut any of you open, we're all pro-red. Just throw it out there.
So
I'm just saying, like, last time I checked, you bleed red. At least when it hits oxygen. At least when it hits the air. It's blue, though. Blue before that, though.
You're right, but I am going to have some pride in my people because of just the history, and that's okay. That's okay.
We got the bomb said, you're not black, JB. I never knew I said I was black. You got me on record saying I was black? Oh, tripping.
Maybe jokingly, but I ain't never heard you be like,
crazy. When did I say I was black? It's crazy. I got a daughter that's mixed, but I never seen. I fuck a lot of black hoes, but I never.
It's been a while though. You ain't had no black cat in a minute.
Yeah, I don't. Right now,
it's been either Caucasian cat, Hispanic, and you got that one. Is she Dominican or she like Iranian? You got somebody who like don't speak the language, but like you ain't had no black in a minute.
You don't know what the fuck I be having. Poll question, Smitty. Did you do the poll question? Did you do anything while I was gone?
I did, bro. You'd be surprised. I did a Smitty said so.
Hey, do you know who Miles Davis is?
Yeah, old school musician.
That's real critical thinking song music. Nowadays, fuck a bitch, fuck a hoe, Ice Spice, twerk, twerk, twerk. Get the fuck out of here. Shit ain't
She was
critical.
twerking last night. She was on Kai Sinet's
Exactly.
show or stream.
You know that.
Kai
You know
Sinet
that.
said, but listen, Kai Sinet said freestyle. He turned a beat on him.
I know.
She turned around and started twerking.
I know. You know that, but you don't know Kamala took fucking prayer out of school. Make it make sense, homeboy.
Because I don't know. I don't
Come
know.
on, Smitty. Come on, homie. Come on, homie. Come on, homie. Poll question, Smitty. Did you do it?
That is what?
Did you do the poll question?
Nope.
So Smitty didn't do shit while I was gone.
I interviewed Matt. It was probably our best interview we've ever had when Matt was on here. Good energy, vibe. He was in a great mood for some reason. I don't know what it was. His son came on. Big Nick came on. I shouted out him. He's 6'3", 245. They're about to go to like a little training camp. He left. I did a full 3 minutes. Smitty said so on the Indianapolis Colts. I might have Baby clip it during the show and then somehow play it during the show, so you can react to my Smitty said so. I did a lot.
All right, let's dive into poll question. Because Aaron Rodgers came out yesterday, and I said, well, let's do a poll question about it. Are the Jets a top 10 NFL team right now?
Let's go through it before I answer the question. So, all right, no order. For me, Chiefs, Ravens, 49ers, top 10.
Now, are you going off last year or right now based on what you project?
Yeah.
Moving forward.
Yeah. I'm just going through it. It's top 10. You said top 10. So here, let me throw out the teams that might be in my 10. All right, so Chiefs, Ravens, 49ers. I would throw out the Lions. I would say potentially, the well, you know what? I'm gonna say yeah, because I'm going through it right now and I'm already struggling. So they're top 10. They top 10 because I got teams on the fringe. I got the Dolphins, I got the Packers, I got the Bills, maybe. You got the Bengals, of course. You got my Colts. You got some fringe teams, but the Jets.
Would you put the Texans above the Jets? Would you put the Rams above the Jets?
You see what I'm saying?
Now,
I think they top 10, but they might be like 9 or 10.
I said last year with Aaron Rodgers, they were my Super Bowl favorite.
Right.
So I'm going to stay with the guns as long as they're healthy. They've improved up front. I believe Brees will be even better because he was returning from an injury. He still wasn't himself. I believe he's back to full strength. They have improved the wideout room. Mike Williams stays healthy with Aaron. That's a big target that he's going to have problems with Garrett and him on the edge trying to defend both, and then got the weapons they have inside. The defense is already loaded, in my opinion. They're going to get him opportunistic red zone shots.
O-line improve. And we showed a video when you left. They got 2 giants at tackle.
Yeah.
Two giants.
So, I mean, I would say that they would have to be. If not, then what are we even talking about?
They're top 10. They're top 10. As of right now, you got to that roster. Again, unless you're just assuming that Rodgers is going to be a shell.
And I'm looking through the league. I'm going through the league right now, and I'm seeing the top teams that you possibly would have over them all are having some sort of holdout right now. Or multiple ones. The only ones they got is Hassan Reddick, who hasn't even been in camp at all year. So he's
right, so it's almost like you didn't lose nothing. It's like you never had him anyway.
Never, like shit. That's like some pussy you never had. Talking about what it's supposed to feel like.
Right, you don't know. You don't know how wet, dry. You don't know nothing.
You don't know what it felt like, taste like, smell like. That's what I'm saying. But this year or not. So my thing is like, like Hassan Reddick's the only guy I lost. Fuck him. I would say top 10.
I agree with you. They're top 10. I don't know where they're at on the top 10, but as of right now, July 26th, I think you got to put them top 10 based upon their roster and things like that because there's still some question marks on about other teams. You know, I think the Bengals are going to bounce back, but I don't know. You know, you get hurt. Who knows how that happens? You say the same thing about Aaron Rodgers, of course. He tore his Achilles. He's 40 years old, so I get that. It's a valid excuse. But yeah, the Bills, they lost a lot. I know Josh Allen's great, but they lost a lot. So yeah, when I think about top 10, they're at least 9 or 10 on the list. So a lot of pressure though. A lot of pressure on A-Rod. He's already talking about Super Bowl, and if they have a bad year, man, Matt was talking about this earlier today. It's a wrap.
Give me a whole recap of you and Matt's conversation. Give me a whole fucking recap. You got 30 seconds. Go.
30 seconds, whole recap. So we talked about Jets, and if the Jets are true Super Bowl contenders this year, we talked about their 2 offensive tackles. I think it was a Marius Mims and the Trent Brown, kind of how giant they are. We talked about we finished out the CSU conversation in Colorado, and then we went into that was pretty much it. And we highlighted his kid, his camp, his show, and we moved on. Shout out to Fred Lane. My guy.
Fred Lane, legend in his own right there. You don't even know who Fred Lane is. You don't even know who that is.
That's my guy. That's my guy. I know that much.
The Pouncies will be on the show during the season. You got Kyle Turley, you got E-Dub, Trent Rich.
We also heard somebody else going to be on the show during the season too.
Possibly maybe another NFL legendary guy, JUCO product.
Good hair.
I would love to have that. Yeah, I'd love to have him on.
Yeah.
Let have him on. We got another legend joining us here in a minute. He's either going to be in Tulane green, USF green, Tampa, we call it cream.
Yeah. Cash rules everything around me. Cream get the money. Dollar bill, y'all. That's for your time, JB.
Yeah. Let's bring our main man, Super Bowl champion, Tulane Green Wave. Clap it up, Shaun King. Shaun, what up, Shaun?
I'm good, man. Smitty be wanting to be up on something that you ain't up on, JB. He's searching.
I know. I've been dealing with all kinds of shit this morning. I'm like, damn, I can't wait to get Shaun King on so we could
bring some balance.
Yeah, we could bring some. We just going to get
continuity.
I just don't like young. I don't like young people.
I like old people.
Yeah, I don't like young people at all.
That's their prime.
Yeah.
Age like fine wine, Smitty. Keep living.
How you doing, Shaun? You looking good, man. You got the beard full. You got the big smile. You in a good mood. Sound you ran into some money or something. You looking good right now.
This the struggle beard. You see, you ain't got no edge. It's just going.
Shout out to Joshua H. real quick with the $100 donation. If Matt Ryan remained with the Falcons, Arthur Smith is still the Falcons head coach. Wideouts are coming in the league ready more than often, which you heard. He got a lot to say, but we appreciate you, Joshua, for the $100 donation, my guy. Shout out to you, man. Blessings to you and your family, my guy. I appreciate you.
Hey, that's a new trend. All the people in the chat, we about to start C-Note Fridays.
Ooh, I like that.
Hey, Shaun, during the season, what days are you gonna be on? Every day?
Call it right now. Call it right now.
Is it gonna be fluid? Because it's fine. We got some fluid.
Hey, I like Monday and Friday. That way we can recap and then we could give our opinion going into the weekend.
Whatever you say right now, you got to stand on it. Ain't no switching now. Monday and Friday.
Monday and Friday. I reserved the right.
I predict Shaun will probably be on Tuesdays and Thursdays now.
I reserved the right to add days, but my base days are Monday, Friday.
All right now.
So we got.
Unlike a lot of guests, I actually watched the show.
That's
so
fair.
Like when y'all have people on here talking crazy, sometimes, like, matter of fact, Bailey, just send me a link every day, even when I'm not on the show.
Well, actually, so Eric Weddle watches it like you. He loves you, by the way. Eric Weddle watches it daily. He'll be on the show. By the way, he'll be on the show during the season, of course, as he's head coaching right now out in San Diego.
That's my guy.
He'll be on, but he watches this notoriously. He's usually in the chat talking shit with us. By the way, the Chargers' top 10 players ever came out, Shaun. This is not on Bailey's list, but I wanted to run this by you. I sent it to E-Dub, and E-Dub's one of the most humble humans, I think Smitty would admit, that you'll ever come across. He was like, I'm 8? Fuck that. I should be 3. Hey, he thinks that E-Dub thinks himself he should be behind Junior and LaDainian Tomlinson, and that's it.
For the Chargers?
Chargers all-time list came out yesterday. I think I sent it to Bailey and Smitty, but
who made the list?
Just some random.
Okay.
It was a publication. A publication made it.
I'm a big Weddle fan, but he 5. I'll give him 5. He's definitely behind Fouts and what's the tight end?
No. I'm sorry. You know what? He said he should be behind Seau, LT, and Antonio Gates.
But you got to put Winslow and Fouts up there too.
Winslow and Fouts were. I don't even know where they were on the list. They also had Quentin Jammer on there. I didn't agree with.
I'm biased because I'm an offensive guy, but we'll put Weddle in the top 10 as the defensive representative.
They had Merriman. They had Merriman at number 10.
Merriman was a baller.
Hardwick, remember the center Hardwick? They got Hardwick at 5.
Yeah, no O-lineman on the list. That don't count. You got to be in the Hall of Fame to be on the all-time great list. Be an O-lineman.
Yeah, I don't know who else. There's some other ones.
If we can get the list on, we'll jump that thing on, man. Let's keep this ball rolling, man. Talk some NFL with Shaun. You know, every time you come on the show, Shaun, we're going to talk some QB. Justin Fields was seen throwing a deep touchdown pass in Steelers training camp, man. I think we got a video right here. Look at this beautiful ball right here. Beautiful throw, deep ball, perfectly thrown, perfectly timed. Use the sideline to his advantage. Beautiful ball right here. Let me ask you this, man. With Russell Wilson dealing with a calf strain currently, could we see Justin Fields play this season. Now, real
Hey,
quick,
by the way, shout
go
out
ahead.
to Dr. Jesse Morse, Smitty.
Yep.
He's also going to be on during the season.
Yes,
Verified, he'll be on. That's our guy to go to as far as all things injuries. He'll be updating us on the injury list. So this show is headed to the great one. Back to Shaun's days. So Shaun, you're going to be on your own segment, of course, but then there'll be times where we're intermingled, either the Pouncey twins, Weddle, Kyle Turley. We're working on a few other guys, TJ Hushamanzada, a couple other guys. So there'll be some times where we all get to interact together on a 4-way or 5-way or whatever. Pause.
We're gonna be like a
Urlacher,
Google
Shaun, Urlacher,
Yep.
Tank Johnson. You know, we got a lot of moving parts we're gonna have. Smitty's not ready. He's scared actually right now. He's shitting in his pants, but
I'm locked in. I'm locked in.
All right, Shaun, go ahead and give me your.
Smitty a reserved parking spot, so we'll have to run outside mid-show.
Yeah, we got to get that. Yeah, you're right about that.
I've earned that, Rob. I've earned that. But going back to the topic, though, real quick, with Russell Wilson dealing with a calf strain, could we see Justin Fields play for the Steelers this season? Yes or no?
Hold on, though. I got to talk about this calf strain, homie. Why is it fucking hurt? Why is he already out? Again, can we go back to JB What Do I Know's point about these motherfuckers ain't ready and invested in their goddamn profession? How is this dude's got a calf strain already? Man, miss me with this shit. Go ahead, Shaun.
A public service announcement. The opinions of Jason Brown are his opinions only. Me and Smitty do not attach ourselves to these outlandish comments that he makes.
Hey, McAfee literally had to say, literally had to say that after I got off the phone.
I would say this. I anticipated we would see both of them at some point. The one interesting thing is people don't give Russ or Justin enough credit for how well of a deep ball they throw. They both throw a really, really good deep ball. Their inconsistencies are the intermediate and short accuracy throws, but they both have big-time arms. That calf thing could be dangerous. Remember Joe Burrow, I think, had a calf last year, ended up costing him damn near the whole preseason. So I would assume that Russ was the leader in the clubhouse, but if that's going to keep him out and Justin, plays well, I mean, who knows?
Yeah, and by the way, Bailey, shout out to Bailey, man, for giving us a good note in the background. Just FYI, Russell Wilson has missed 6 games, I think, in like 12 years. So it's not he's not some guy who just misses a ton of time, a ton of games. He's a guy who typically comes prepared, comes ready. So sometimes, JB, I think things just happen, and that's what
No Friday.
Friday. Mike Bundy for Smitty's White People Parking. Shout out to Mike Bundy. I can park for free for a couple of days.
Hold on, is that my picture?
Is that you for real?
That's Tom
I don't
Brady.
know. I got a baby picture exactly like that, homie, wearing number 12. Hence why I wore the number 12.
Well, Mike Bundy has had this picture forever, so I thought it was him.
I'm fucking with him, but that is me. I have the same picture like that.
That's a clean picture.
And I'm wearing number 12, by the way. Shout out to Mike Bundy, man. He always dropping love, man, in the show. Shout out to you. I don't know. I hope he's in the Discord. Is Mike Bundy in the Discord chopping it up with everybody? And then we have this dick rider like this. We got this fucking idiots like this. That's me.
Jabrown. Hey, where your brother Jabrown been at, JB?
I killed him. Hey, so let's go. Let's move on to we got a lot going on, man. Bailey, Bailey, I sent you something on your DM on Twitter, Bailey. Pop that in for Shaun when you can, because another one bites the dust. Uh-oh. And it's not breaking news per se, because Bailey could do that on his own if he wants, but University of Georgia just continues to go down a slippery slope, dog. Like, it seems like every team that gets super uber talented, right? We saw the Floridas and Urban Meyers, Shaun. We've seen the USC's back in the day. We've seen the Miamis with Dennis Erickson. We've seen the Miamis with Jimmy Johnson. We've seen these great teams that have always been loaded NFL rosters. I would say
Don't tell me somebody else got called drag racing.
I would say Nick Saban probably managed a uber amount of talent the best. Him and Pete Carroll, maybe? What do you think? As far as not getting too much harassed, too many issues.
I think they had the most money in the local police force.
Okay. Well, LA's hard to manage police, though. It's too big. But I'll say that.
The information, not the police.
Kirby Smart is starting to deal with this.
What happened?
They had a dude got arrested for child abuse.
What?
child endangerment, child abuse, some sort of shit, dog. This is their cruelty to children. This is their 30th arrest, Shaun. 30th arrest, homie, in one off season. What does that tell you? Is all I want to know. It could actually mean absolutely nothing, Shaun. It could mean they're going to win the fucking natty. That's what it could mean if anyone really wants to know the truth.
Right.
But it's also
Florida Gators.
And I just want to get Shaun's take, player coach perspective, and the same with me. Eventually, though, you stack enough shit up, as Shaun will tell you, something will bite you. Something will come back to bite you in some sort of way. Whether it's on a 30 for 30 in 10 years, Smitty, that shit that came out, we didn't want it to come out, or they're going to lose because some shitbird screws them over during a big-time critical down and distance, and a guy that had an issue off the field cost them in the game. I've had those happen many times. Shaun will tell you. Because you're a shitbird off the field is why you cost our ass on the field. I think all three of us have played with those type of guys.
Selfish.
Where you at, Shaun, with this? Selfish, yeah.
I've learned you got to find out what actually happened. You can't go by these charges. Because I saw a police officer headbutt Scotty Scheffler's car, and then Scheffler got arrested for assaulting the cop. And the cop blatantly ran directly into. So, like, you can't just go by the charges. It's not a laughing matter. I don't know what happened.
I need to know what happened. This wasn't number one, Shaun. This is number 30.
So I think JB, and so if I'm wrong, JB, you're asking more so about just the overview of all the noise, whether it's true, false.
I'm not. I don't know what this kid is. He's charged. That doesn't mean he's convicted. I'm just saying 30 arrests, though, in one off season is my overall.
I think what you're seeing is to whom much is given, much is required. Like, man, look, when they put that spotlight on you, it's a lot of stuff come with that, man. The gift and the curse, right? It's just what it is. Like, it happens to every program that has a sustained run of success. People start to idolize you, which brings jealousy, envy, more scrutiny.
Is that the culture now? Is that the culture up in
that's a college sports thing. I don't think it's a Georgia football thing.
But do you think that's what's happening there in where's that? Where's Georgia?
Athens.
Athens. I was about to say Rome. You think that's what the culture is now in Athens?
I ain't gonna put that on Kirby. I mean, that's a problem across a whole lot of programs, especially with the NIL now. You got more entitlement. It's harder to be a disciplinarian with the transfer portal. So, I mean, you almost are forced to give guys more leeway. Like back in the day, like you had early morning run if you get caught missing class. Like,
come on now.
Can you imagine, like, if a dude be like, if I got to run, I'm leaving.
Dawn Patrol. We had Dawn Patrol. Right. So that's what we called it.
Out there where that grass still wet, it's still dark outside, man, look.
In Ball State, we didn't have no indoor, so we out there hoodies on, jogging pants. We got to push the plate 1,000 yards for being late because I had to do it because my teammate was late. I didn't do anything wrong. My teammate was late.
Is there a track around the football field at Ball State? Is that the stadium?
It's like right. It's like not. It's not around. It's right by the field. Yes, we got a track. Like you jog past our field like probably 60 yards, and the track is over there. They got an indoor now though.
Ball State has a stadium.
Yeah, they got a little 20.
It's called the Schumann Stadium. It gets rocking. We got a slanted field.
I wasn't taking a shot. I just never knew if you guys had a stadium.
Beautiful weight room. It's small. Beautiful weight room. You can see out the glass, see the field. It's called Schumann Stadium. It's beautiful, man. Everybody screaming chirp, chirp.
You guys
got your red and your white on.
You don't got to drive off campus to a high school or nothing.
You got your red and your white on. Everybody chirping and clean. Y'all laugh if you want to. I know we would have gave Tulane that work. And the JUCO, the JUCO, we're not having a conversation about no JUCO. JUCO can't even see us. JUCO can't even see us.
Exactly. Because we would have beat Ball State.
Would have beat the hell out of y'all.
You crazy as hell.
The best program in the country right now.
Hey, Shaun. Can you explain? Can you give out all the naysayers out here who really are so fucking ignorant to what JUCO really is? So if you're a big-time JUCO and a national one, by the way, the year I was at Indy when we won it all, we would have beat KU, we would have beat fucking Missouri, we would have beat fucking. People don't realize.
Didn't y'all lose the game that year?
By the way, hold on.
Huh?
Yeah, and that
you
team
lost the first game against another JUCO team, homie. How you gonna beat KU and beat all these real teams, homie?
And that team would have beat them too. That's my point. Y'all don't get it. By the way, Smitty. There was 8 NFL guys on that fucking field. You didn't have 8 at Ball State at any one given damn time. Stop.
He had 8.
Stop. Shaun, they don't understand. Real JUCOs got fucking real dudes. Real JUCOs are deep, dog. Real JUCOs, I'm telling you.
Ain't no training table, 4 guys in a room. They getting it from the mud.
Or come to Cali JUCO, you got 34 in one room.
They getting it from the mud for sure.
That's how we getting it at the MAC. We the bottom tier D1. We ain't had the shit Tulane had. Y'all was handed all types of shit, I'm sure. All types of little easy, beautiful, big ass dorms, apartment living, the best food.
Man,
we get out the mud.
Hey, we played in the Superdome when I was at Tulane. We didn't even have an old campus stadium. We had to drive downtown New Orleans to go play a home game.
You ever played? We played in we had no indoor. We in the ice during the spring game. Iced out snowy field.
We still don't have an indoor. It's 2024.
We eat top ramen noodles in the sink. We ain't had no stove or microwave. We had to get the noodles in a bowl, put it in the sink, and turn the hot water on and let the hot water boil the noodles.
That's why y'all couldn't beat us. Your nutrition wasn't right.
Hey, Smitty, you kind of hosted the show for a while, so you've talked enough for the rest of the show. So it's time for
the show is like better when I host. It's like the numbers are up. It's like I don't know. I'm just reading the numbers. Like for some reason, everything's better.
We're gonna move on to our producer Bailey. Next question, Smitty, you stay out. Dan Lanning, Shaun, talks about NIL success at Oregon. Is Oregon the favorite to win the Big Ten?
I don't know if they're the favorite because Ohio State's loaded. And if that Juju kid, Sayin, or what's his name? Sayin, I think, the kid from Cali, if him or the Kansas State transfer can play above average quarterback, Ohio State got some talent this year. So I don't know if they're the favorite, but I think they're 1B behind Ohio State.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, obviously this season is going to tell it all, though, as far as like how this thing goes. The main thing with Ohio State, though, I think they're more talented than Oregon, but I just don't know. Do we trust their QB? Like, do we really trust him though? Like, do we feel
That's
like?
That's what I said. So it's Julian Sayin and the kid. What's it? Will
Howard, right? Will Howard.
Yeah. That's what I
Yeah,
said.
the QB's a kid. My buddy coached him down south in San Diego. I think he's like
Julian Sayin. That's his name.
Yeah, I think he's a Carlsbad or an Oceanside kid or something.
True freshman.
Where my San Diego folks at?
You guys are expecting him to play this year?
Yeah, Josh right there. Josh said he's from Carlsbad. Yeah, he's
him or Will Howard. That's all that's there.
I thought Will was like the we knew like he was guaranteed to start. I thought it was like an easy like Will Howard would start, but I guess I'm wrong. I didn't know that.
I mean, that Sayin kid was like top 5 quarterback in his class. I don't know, if that transfers into year 1, but I mean, we'll see.
I want to ask you something because a lot of people give Dan Lanning a knock and say, when is he going to win something meaningful? Let me just put it in perspective real quick. This is his first head coaching job.
And he's only been there 2 years.
I'm trying to figure out what do y'all think this guy's done? Like, this is, again, we live in a what have you done for me lately? It's always some guy that's a fantasy football player that comes out and says, what has Lanning ever won? He was a fucking DC at Georgia, and he was a GA at Alabama, and he's been doing nothing but the grind work at the 4-year level, and this is his first head job. What are you talking about? What do you guys think this motherfucker's been doing? He's 30 fucking 4. God damn.
David Cold World. Like, he was in the Pac-12 title game, too. It's Cold World.
He's fucking 35 years old, homie, or something. Not even that.
You ain't winning the Natty right now, Shaun. They own your head. Like, you got to win a Natty every single year, otherwise you're trash and all type. It's crazy.
Hey, Smitty, Joseph Caldwell say, JB always got a buddy.
I mean,
he know a lot of people.
Hey, Shaun, you know what I don't get? It ain't bragging if it's true, is it?
Oh, no. I just appreciate the chat. Like, once I learned how to view the chat during the show, it'd be some comedy going on in the chat.
Oh, yeah, it is. But I be tripping on them like, you do know it's not bragging if it's true, right? Like, I want to make sure. Like, if my dick hangs 2 inches from the ground, that ain't bragging. Like, I don't understand why these motherfuckers don't get it. I don't get it.
Why you always got to, like, jump out the car? Just let the window down, take in some fresh air, and stay in between the lines. Like, you don't got to jump out the car at every light.
I need media training. You didn't give it to me, so I'll move on.
Moving on though to the NFL, man. Kirk Cousins was medically cleared from his torn Achilles. He won't start training camp on a PUP list. What are the expectations for Kirk Cousins, man, going in, in Atlanta? I saw him walking into training camp. He had his jersey on, you know what I'm saying? Had a little swag to him. How you feel Kirk Cousins will perform in Atlanta?
Well, the expectations are playoffs. Anything
Okay.
short of making the playoffs probably be a disappointment for that organization. I know Raheem Morris very well. He was with us in Tampa. A deserving opportunity that he got. He had been a head coach. Remember back, he was the Bucs head coach.
Oh, yeah.
For a couple years, yeah. So he deserved this shot. And, hey, man, they feel like they only were missing a quarterback. So you look at the NFC South, Tampa looks like they got a pretty good team coming back, but I think Atlanta would be disappointed if they weren't in contention to win the division, and definitely if they didn't make the playoffs.
I mean, looking at the offensive roster alone, you got obviously Bijan going into year 2, and I know year 1 he wasn't utilized the right way in my opinion. I don't know if he was a little hurt and they kind of kept it under wraps or what, but he wasn't utilized fully. But you got Bijan, you got Drake London, Darnell Mooney, which is a solid guy, Rondale Ward, crazy athlete, a guy who they used to compare to Reggie Bush when he was at Purdue in college, Kyle Pitts, man, a guy who has had a chance to fully showcase his ability. Now he should be able to do that with a guy who can throw that ball around. So I'm with you, man. And in the division that they're in, the AFC South, Atlanta Falcons have everything they need to win the division, make the playoffs. And if you make the playoffs, man, hey, you got a chance. That's all you can ask for is make the playoffs and see what happens.
And winning the division is a big one because now you host a playoff game.
Yep, in Atlanta. Come on now. Great crowd, great environment. JB, what you think, though?
Oh, you asking me now? I thought you was going to run the show. Shit. I'm just fucking with me. Shaun, we started off the show with all kind of shit going on here. I had to handle.
There wasn't nothing going on mine. It was JB. He had a lot of personal shit going on that he brought to the show.
Shaun, to me, the only team in the South is Atlanta.
The Bucs got their team coming back now.
They got Baker Mayfield though. I don't think he can put 2 seasons together consistently ever. So I'm not a buyer in there. I think that team got tremendously older, Shaun. I think that Bucs team got tremendously older. They did not really get younger anywhere. On defense alone, in my opinion, that's going to be they're going to fail on defense, man. And I think that's what's going to end up being the demise of the head coach, who I like a lot, but I just don't know if he's I think this will be the last year. I don't know. I think that Atlanta Falcons is the only team in the South that actually can compete with anyone else. Because let's be honest, and we'll go to the next question. What team out of that division goes to the playoffs and actually can compete with a Rams, Niners, Packers, other than Atlanta?
Well,
Bucs. Didn't the Bucs win the playoff game last year, Shaun?
I'm telling you, that team's not that team. That's not this team, though. That's not this team, though.
By single digits.
I'm just saying off of this roster, these rosters, the 24-25 team. I'm talking about, I don't believe this Buccaneers team's nearly as good as last year.
I would say this. I think Tampa has the highest floor in the division, but not the highest ceiling.
Ooh, okay. So their baseline is going to be at least decent, right? You're not going to go that low.
They're going to be around 500.
My point. Yeah.
That's a good point.
I agree. Shaun, going off topic real quick before we get back to the Seahawks, Mike McDonald's asked, let me ask you something real quick. Dak Prescott's in the news today because Jerry Jones basically came out and said, I'm all in. But the real context behind it was, I'm all in for me and this organization, not you, Dak. I don't know if you read between the lines, but that's what I took out of it. It made news this morning on ESPN and all this. I said on this show months ago, 2 years ago, really, I'm just fucking with Smitty.
Right.
Months ago that I don't believe Dak's going to be back. I don't believe McCarthy will be back. I believe Belichick will be the head coach. I believe you'll have a new QB. What do you think all in means by Jerry Jones with the statement as of last night?
I mean, Jerry's unpredictable. Who the hell knows what Jerry's talking about, man? Jerry, I don't know, man. Listen, Jerry's delusional sometimes. I don't like to talk negatively about him because I think he's the best player owner in the NFL. They really take care of their former players in Dallas. So I hat tip to the Jones family, but I don't know what the hell Jerry's talking about, man.
Can we play the sound a little bit better? Because I think the sound is important because if you look at his face and his tone and how he said it, to me, it just sounded a little different than what it did. He always says stuff every year. He's always giving a headline. But look at him real quick. Look how he said it.
Here, I'm all in. I'm all in. Sometimes being all in means you narrow. You remove the months out here that are in the future. And you narrow it down to where all we're talking about is right now and the next playoff season. And that's it for everybody.
Everybody.
So
Everybody.
basically, so I didn't hear the whole clip. Jerry is saying, I ain't paying nobody nothing until y'all prove to me we can make the. And that's CD, Micah, Dak.
Hey, and he should have been
McCarthy,
saying
everybody.
this. He should have did that with Jimmy Johnson years ago, and he'd probably have about 5 more rings. Let me
And
be
he
honest
brought up
with
Dak's name in that too. Like he's like, I know Dak got some stuff going on, money. We got folks on the now.
Jerry
He may say, hey,
basically
show me.
Yeah, Jerry saying, play with it if you want to. Goddamn it. All y'all under contract. I ain't paying nobody nothing till we get in the playoffs. Show me.
Let me ask you something. Let me ask you something real quick, because this is what I separate greatness from. Regarding Dak Prescott, Shaun, can you stay on for about another 13 minutes?
Yeah, I got you.
Another hour? Okay, cool.
Dak Prescott lost to Jordan Love last year, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, should never happen. Not if you're elite. Not if you think you're supposed to get your 3rd big contract. Dak Prescott lost. Dak Prescott lost.
Brock Purdy the year before that.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy.
And Jimmy Garoppolo the year before that.
Jimmy Garoppolo. Where he also lost, I believe he also lost to Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers.
Well, that makes sense.
I believe he also lost to Matt Stafford. So those are some legitimate QBs to lose to. But the guys he's lost to that aren't elite, at least not at the time he lost to them, is alarming to me. And that's a huge telltale sign that you don't have that it factor to get my organization over the hump. Because losing to Aaron Rodgers in his prime is one thing. Losing to Matthew Stafford on a Super Bowl winning team, that was a team the Rams ended up winning the Super Bowl, right? That's one thing. But Purdy, young guy on a first-year contract, living at home with his mom. You got Jordan Love, first year playing the position as a starter at home. I don't get that. That's an it factor issue to me, and that should be a telltale sign to Jerry Jones if I'm the owner. That's all I'm saying.
Do you feel like obviously we watch these playoff games and like even this past year, Dak did not perform well. He didn't perform at the same level he does in the regular season, which he had his first All-Pro year. But do you feel like we give him a little too much of the blame because the defense didn't show up either? But we don't ever talk about that. We'll never bring up the other factors. Like the only thing we bring up is Dak.
Here's why Dak gets crucified, and it's justified. He's so damn good in the regular season.
Yeah.
It's not like he's this marginal quarterback. Like he's a 4,000-yard, 30-plus touchdown guy in the regular season. He gets to the damn playoffs. And it don't even be remotely that kind of production, and that's.
Hey, does that remind you of somebody? A guy named Tony Romo. Fucking reminds me of Tony Romo like a motherfucker. That's exactly the same person.
I feel like
same quarterback to me. Same guy.
I feel like Dak is on more complete Cowboy teams than Romo was.
And I agree to that, and that's why I'm like, I actually would take Romo. Number one, just because of the skill set. I think Romo was a top 10 ball spinner. In my opinion, people don't really study Romo.
Eastern Illinois, baby.
Hey, Romo could fucking spin it now. He had all the tools as far as that having that deal. Playoffs though, motherfucker was deer in headlights.
Hey,
Same
Smitty,
thing.
Sean Payton, Tony Romo, Jimmy Garoppolo, all Eastern Illinois quarterbacks.
Okay.
Yep.
Fun fact of the day. I love to hear that.
Hey, by the way,
somebody in the chat asked what I thought the best fit was for Dak. The perfect spot for Dak would be Minnesota.
By the way, Shaun.
Well,
yeah, he'd be great with that offense.
Great fit, but hold on. It wouldn't be too much different than them having Kirk Cousins, though. They'll probably win 10, 11 games and go lose in the first round of playoffs.
Maybe it's the pressure in Dallas. Maybe being in Minnesota,
Shout out to a good friend of mine, a good friend of my friend's friend, and also Sean Payton's. Basically, Sean Payton's number one right-hand crimey in forever. 35-year NFL veteran, passed away yesterday. Smitty, you got to meet this man, by the way, last year at the Pump Brothers Foundation. The New Orleans Saints issued a statement. I just have to read it. I told Dana Pump I would. It was a great sadness that we have learned about the passing of Mike Ornstein. We call him Orny today. Mike was beloved by countless members of our organization for nearly 2 decades. From Mr. Benson, Dennis Lucia, and Mickey Loomis to the team's coaching staffs, to hundreds of current and former players and hundreds of staff members, he was one of a kind person who left an immediate impact on anyone he met. Mike Orney's a great dude, man, was unbelievable. There's things that you can go research and find dirt and think you're going to have dirt on him and all this. He was basically the number one reason why the whole Sean Payton suspension year happened, and the defensive coordinator who was putting out Hitgate or whatever that whole year. Remember, we were paying players to go put out players and all that. Orny took the heat for that, by the way. Orny's the guy that took the heat to save certain NFL brass. Just so we're clear. A lot of you guys don't know. A product from right here. Mike Ornstein passed away. Shout out to everybody.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. Fuck that. I didn't know he was sick, man. I didn't even know. Bounty Gate. That's what it was called.
Yeah.
Bounty Gate. My bad. Go ahead, Smitty.
Yes, sir.
You took too long.
No, you're good. Transitioning though, man. So back to the rundown here. We had Daniel Jones, and we got to bring up Daniel Jones. I think we talked about him a little bit the other day, but he was seen in Giants training camp throwing some good balls to Malik Neighbors and Jalen Hyatt. I guess a few Giants fans like JB, who's a Daniel Jones fan, are feeling optimistic right now, Shaun. But I'm going to ask you, man, will the Giants surprise people in the NFC East and actually compete for the division?
That's a bad ball.
Hell no. And who said he was throwing good balls? First of all, the first play is unrealistic.
That was a bad ball. That ball was a bad ball.
Definitely don't get to make 8 moves at the line of scrimmage. And the second ball was a terrible throw.
Yeah,
behind the dude.
That was bad too.
Jones,
I'm gonna tell you what it is. I'll tell you if it's a good ball or bad ball. I thought he threw 3 of those.
I'm gonna give you this opportunity, JB, on your own show before the season starts, to walk back on Daniel Jones. I know you're gonna stay behind Darnell, and I think you should. But sometimes you get emotional when we be talking. I do it. Smitty does it. We're your homies though, so we want to give you a chance right now, on a live podcast, to walk back your Daniel Jones and say, you know what? I thought I'm probably wrong. I don't want to attach my credibility to this guy.
Cool.
That's fair.
Can you both stick out your hands? No, I'm serious. I want you to wish in this one and shit in this one, see what fills up first. Listen, he's going to be the comeback player of the year.
Oh,
is what it is. Sam Darnold will be the. I guess they're gonna have to give it to Sam. See, it's gonna be because they don't have the newcomer of the year or something like that.
It's gonna be AR5.
AR5 is not even gonna finish the fucking season. Yeah, Daniel Jones is gonna ball, and so is Sam Darnold. 2 guys I've said. Remember, let's put it in context, Shaun, real quick, since you keep throwing these subtle jabs at me. And
no, I was giving you a chance to.
He was helping you out.
Here's the thing.
Danny Dimes back.
I want to be put it in context, though. When I talk about Daniel Jones and Sam Darnold and these lower tier QBs on a national, global scale of things, I want to be clear. I'm not saying they're fucking Troy Aikman and fucking Dan Marino. They
might be Troy Aikman.
What I'm saying is that these guys have had a horrible rap by all the Twitter gurus who fucking bag groceries at Walmart and have no clue about football. And they always bash these guys when they've had zero support systems in place. 4 head coaches for some, 6 OCs for some, no O-line for some, no wideouts for some. And then on the other side, we'll sit there and praise Justin Fields, praise these motherfuckers, and say the same exact thing they're saying about Daniel Dimes for him. And I'm like, hold on. I just want to be all equal out here. I just want to make sure that we're equal. So that's all I'm saying.
All right. I guess that's fair. Shout out to Daniel Jones, man. And I guess he was the comeback player of the year between him and Sam Darnold. And, we'll kind of just go from there.
Hold on. By the way, Patrick Mahomes inherited a tight end pick 63rd and a wide receiver picked in, I think, the 5th round in Tyreek Hill. So
no, he didn't. You're wrong. Alex Smith did. Right, don't get it twisted, homie. He didn't start year one. See, y'all love to move shit around. He didn't even start year one.
Mahomes turned them into Pro Bowlers.
No, his point is still his point, JB. You missing the point.
You know who turned him into Pro Bowlers?
Mahomes turned them into Pro Bowlers.
You know who turned him into Pro Bowlers? Andy Reid, when he got Tyreek Hill and he could start manipulating, putting people in positions to succeed. That's who put him into the Pro Bowl.
My point being, Tyreek was a 5th round pick, 6th round maybe. He was a late round draft pick. So you're talking about guys not having weapons around them. The Giants got a bunch of 1st and 2nd round receivers. Daniel can't get them the ball.
By the way, Shaun, come on. You, my brother from another.
You know I love you, man.
Chiefs, first of all, Chiefs had the goddamn best. First of all, the Chiefs had the fucking best offensive line in football. They had the best defense in football. Let's pump our brakes on this whole comparison to Daniel
Last year was the first time they had a great defense.
And he's had an O-line for how many years?
Pack all those other years.
How many O-lines has he had that has been unbelievable?
Stop jumping around.
Hold on. You jumping around. Hold on. You jumping around. Hold on.
No, me and Smitty trying to hand you an olive branch, and you trying to throw it back in our face. We're backing you. We're backing your Sam Darnold play. What we're saying is we want you to kind of go ahead and sell the Daniel Jones stock. You lost a couple dollars. You bought it at 25, but it's only at 24.50. Sell it before it go down to 10.
Hold on, though. Didn't that Eagles have the #1 D-line in football and didn't even fucking touch Mahomes in the Super Bowl? And no one wants to talk about that shit.
Because the grass
remember that? They had the most sacks in the NFL history and didn't even touch the quarterback.
Because the field they play on was jacked up. That's already documented. We know that. Anyway, man, when I watch Daniel Jones play, I just don't see any grace, any elegance. I think it's a perfect transition to this last topic here with Shaun, man. Seahawks head coach Mike McDonald says that he wants the Seahawks offense to have, and I quote, elegant simplicity. Elegant simplicity. Coach JB, Shaun King, you guys are the offensive minds of this show, so please educate me. What does he mean by elegant simplicity on the offense?
Normally, when you hear a head coach say something like that, and JB, tell me if I'm wrong, is generally because he thinks that the coordinator has too much going on at the line of scrimmage on offense. That's when you hear those kind of terms. I mean, the coordinator trying to call a play with 2 runs attached to it, 2 passes attached to it, and a 0 check. And he's trying to get the coordinator, hey man, look, sometimes it ain't gonna be perfect. Let's just make it sound like that's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, it sounds like a cop-out. And it sounds like you willing to say, you know what, if we're shitty, it's because we this XYZ. Like, nah, Pete Carroll would never do that. Pete Carroll's going to be like, you know what, we're going to attack this thing in the face and we're going to hit it in the face. This guy's come in, taking down all the history, Legion of Boom history, Pete Carroll history, Super Bowl Marshawn Lynch history, the second Super Bowl they lost, they should have won history. He's taken and deleted this whole office and tells me a lot. Like, you don't have to keep everything. It's like getting rid of the tapes and shit like that. But let's be honest. History's history. Like, I'm not going to delete. It's like you're taking away the Lombardi trophy out of Green Bay. Like, come on, man.
I got a question for you. When you got to U of Indy, when you got to Indy, what did you keep in your office from the previous staff?
There was nothing to keep. I inherited a 3-57 program. But what I left was a bowl trophy, a first league championship trophy and plaque in 30 years. I left all that in the office. I don't take that shit with me. That's like taking the game film that was with me. No, I left all that shit. That's a part of the program. That's not my. I'm not bringing the bowl trophy home. I could have brought that motherfucker when I left. Nobody would have known, Smitty. It was on my desk. Nobody would have known.
You should have.
I would say this.
It's integrity, though, at the end of the day. You have to have self-integrity at some point in your life to look at yourself and say, that was a shitbird move. I took the school's trophy. Yeah, I was the coach that won it. First one ever. First bowl championship ever at his school. But that doesn't mean it was mine. You feel me?
Right.
People now have such egos that they think they're supposed to take the shit. I won it. I didn't win that shit, homie. Jermaine Johnson sacked the QB to end the game. Raheem Boyd had 330 yards rushing. Like, come on, man. Those are my players, but I didn't deserve to take that trophy home. And what am I going to do? Have it here on the show just to say, oh, you won it? No, the school deserved to have that, and it stays with the school. But that's all I
So to the actual point of a scheme, it's amazing. Like, when I went to India, as successful as they were, that probably was the most basic system as from a word standpoint. Like, a play would be double right 60H. Double right was the formation. 6 was the pass protection. 0 was the route package for the strong side. H, route package for the weak side. When I went to Tampa, it was blast, Y bunch right, F counter motion, 72 crisscross, Y swing X out. And we get any strong pressure, we're going 98 bunch crunch. Anything weak, we want to go 200 jet smoke. So, like,
I love that shit.
It's a vast difference in verbiage in some of them systems. Like, that West Coast is a monster, man. When shit.
Give me one more. Give me one more, Shaun. Give me one more play. Give me anything. Top of the head.
Explode the bingo, 72. X out, 55. Switch.
So explode, is that the X receiver?
No, explode. We're gonna start in I formation and end up in bunch right.
You a bad boy. See, offense. See, I'm D-line. Tell me one thing. Eagle shock. All right, boom. I know exactly what I'm doing. Sound blitz. I'm moving.
You know why, Smitty? You know why, right? Because you guys are fucking dumb.
Now we gotta react.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. Defensive players see ball, hit ball.
Hey,
we not dumb. We decided to play defense, motherfucker. We could have played offense.
Hey, Jeff.
Yeah, what's up?
What's going on? How you doing, Jeff?
Dylan
Good,
Davis
good.
on the heater at Saratoga, baby.
What do you mean?
Dylan Davis, he on a heater.
Oh yeah, I heard. Yeah, I got to bet that today probably.
Who is?
That's a jockey at Saratoga.
He'll lose every race today, I'm sure.
You're probably right.
Oh, you talking about horse racing?
Yeah. New York racing, y'all the cheatingest mofos on the planet.
Yeah,
Hey.
I'm off him.
Hey, Shaun, you back Monday?
Yep, God willing.
All right, hey, enjoy
Sorry,
the
my
weekend.
grandma, boy,
Hey,
don't
by the
say
way,
that.
Sean Salisbury is in town. He's coming over. I'm gonna smoke some food, barbecue.
Call me on Zoom.
Yeah, I'll hit you up.
I gotta talk to my guy.
I'll hit you up.
All right, blessings, y'all. Enjoy your weekend.
All right, Mr. King.
All right, bro.
Peace.
Jeff Nader's in the building. Let's get Jeff Nader the proper introduction, man. Jeff is in the building, man. How you doing, my guy?
Clap it up.
Show him love in the chat. How you
Hey,
been?
Jeff.
I ain't seen you in 2 weeks.
I was on Monday.
I know it's been a long week though. It's been a lot that's happened. Like
Smitty is racist, RACCISS, and he's very, very color blinded. He thinks Kamala is black. All kind of shit's going on with Smitty right now. I don't know what's wrong with him.
Well, she is.
Jamaican is black to me.
Nah, she's not.
I went to Jamaica. It was all my people when we in there just living life. But that's another conversation anyway.
No, you're not.
Let me ask you about your Eagles real quick though, before JB goes to all the politics. Your Eagles, there's a lot of this news going on, man. Jalen Hurts has been in press conferences kind of, I feel like, giving subliminal messages about the new offense with Kellen Moore. I see Jordan Mailata says the Eagles had 3 false starts and practice, having
Jordan who?
Casters, which ain't nothing to me. I mean, that's regular shit. People go
Independence.
But just, I guess, how you feeling right now about just your Eagles? Like, are you nervous? Are you excited? What's the emotion that's inside Jeff Nadu going into this season?
Well, listen, I've heard, and remember, this just comes from reporters, right, who get paid to talk about the Eagles and go to their practice every day. From what I've heard about the Eagles' offense, it looks very good, but every offense looks really good in preseason and training camp. Yeah, I'm excited for it. I mean, I was excited to get rid of, the coordinators they had last year. I was kind of hoping they'd move on from Sirianni, but he's here. I think a lot of people are excited that they've supposedly incorporated a lot more running plays for Jalen Hurts. He's throwing the ball well. It's going to be interesting without Jason Kelce. Obviously, that's a huge piece you're not going to have, but they have some good plans for what goes on.
They do a good job of drafting, though. Even when they lose vets like that, they always do a good job of drafting, man. That's the one thing about Philly.
And they did that. They drafted his replacement with Cameron Jurgens quite quickly. So, I'm pretty excited. I think on paper they're very good. I think they're surely going to win the division. Are they the best team in the NFC? Obviously, I think the Lions are good.
Niners.
You have other Niners, Packers. You have other teams. I think the Cowboys would be good. I mentioned that. To me, if I'm making a future bet on MVP, I'm looking at Dak Prescott and I'm looking at Jalen Hurts.
My thing is, I guess my concern right now for the Eagles, based upon, and I don't know if we have the Jalen Hurts interviews, which if we don't, no worries, Bailey. I didn't ask you to bring it on here, but he keeps talking about this new offense, and it's totally different. He's using certain, like when I watch interviews, I try to read between the lines, and to me, what I'm reading is that he's learning a brand new, totally different system and scheme, language, lingo. And if there is some truth towards that, that's concerning me in terms of just the process, especially early on in the season, of Jalen Hurts figuring out and getting comfortable fully with the new words, the new lingo, the new language, the new checks within this new offensive scheme. Does that not concern you at all? Having this like it's what?
Yeah,
offensive coordinator or something like that. And last since he started.
Oh, yeah, I mean he's had a different one every year, I believe. I mean he had Steichen, then he had Brian Johnson, now he has Kellen Moore. So yeah, look, I think obviously that's a problem, but that's the name of the game. That's how it goes. When you're successful, look, you generally don't lose. You only lose a coach for two reasons: they either aren't good or they do really well and win, and another team gets them. It's had both those happen to him. Yeah, obviously that's always a problem. But again, as coach knows, the best players are the ones that were working, off season and getting stronger and getting faster and getting quicker and getting smarter. So
hey, Jeff,
that'll be a problem. But it's been months. I think they'll be good to go.
Jeff, I want to jump into your wheelhouse on two different fronts. One being the crime world, one being soccer. Even though this is female soccer I'm discussing here, I have a question for you. Yesterday, the Canadians suspended the women's national team head coach, Bev Priestman, and removed her from the country's Olympic team over a scandal involving the use of drones to spy on opponents' Olympic practices. The COC, Canadian Olympic Committee, announced yesterday that they had suspended her and made it clear that she was gone for the remainder of the tournament. The episode began earlier in the week when Canada's opening opponent, New Zealand, complained to the IOC that the integrity was up in question because they had drones, several of them flying over their practices that were closed to the public. Where are you at with this? Is this becoming the new norm? Like we continue to see this crazy. Is this an extension of what social media has become, I guess, as far as cell phones and publications and being so accessible? Do you think that they're taking advantage and using things to people that they think people aren't going to really care? It's just more media, more coverage. Is this something you think that ties in with that?
Well, look, I mean, I've always said, isn't this just part of the game? Like, you get an edge against your opponent. Like, you have to do.
They suspended old boy for stealing signs in Michigan, they said.
No, I know, which I didn't agree with either.
Yeah.
I will tell you this. If I went to a casino, okay, and I spotted a blemish or an issue, I'm not going to go tell the pit boss. I'm going to exploit it, and I think the goal is you have to protect against all this type of shit. I don't think, stealing signs to me is not you're getting a leg up on your competition, right? Like if
been doing it forever.
Like if Smitty's on the defensive line and he notices something about the right guard, he's not going to be like, "Hey, bro, you should change this so I can not get a leg up on you." I will make this clear. This is why, to me, I would do well in these competitions against other people where it's mind games. I'm manipulating you. I'm going to do whatever I have to do to manipulate the fuck out of you. I'm going to get you to fight with other people so you fuck yourself and I win. Life is about doing what you have to do. And as far as I've always never been a person that believes in when it comes to business integrity, there is no business integrity. There's no integrity in business. There's no ethics. No company cares about you. No other opponent cares about you. You do what you do to survive. And in this case, yeah, I mean, then you should protect yourself against being spied on, I guess.
I don't. Where are you guys at, Smitty? Where are you at, Smitty and Jeff, with a gentleman's agreement?
But what does that mean? I mean, listen.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just asking that question. Like, where are you at? Where do you stand?
There are no friends to me, like in business and like ethics and that sort. Like you do what you have to do to survive. Okay, and in the end, like people can say like they care about Coach JB. They watch his show. They like what he does. But in the end, they're going to do what they have to do for themselves. You know, if that's just how it works. There are no friends in anything. A company will say they love you and they support you, and then axe you the next day. That's why like these people that are like, oh, I loved it. You know, even though they fired me, it's like, why? Like,
here's the thing: as the opponent, like as the coach, I would have shot that fucker down over my practice. I would have had the homies.
Yeah, exactly. No, my whole thing is like Canada is a top 10 U.S. or top 10 world program, soccer-wise and women's. New Zealand is not. I don't know why. Look, if you're spying against like Spain or the U.S., I can understand. What my whole tournament is all about this. Would I be spying on them? No, but
here's my thing, Smitty. As Smitty played, and I'm like, I want to make sure. Here's what I say: there's integrity for the game and the sport that actually pays you. That you're either a professional coach in or a player in. That's why Smitty and I go back and debate a lot about this, investment in your body and being able to play and all this. And then there's a gentleman's agreement amongst men and women that become coaches later that have certain things. Like maybe I'd give a call to a buddy that I knew coaching and give them a heads up that, hey man, they're looking into what you did scholarship wise with Smitty. They think that you gave them. I found out from a buddy that they're going after Smitty's coach, and I'd call him and say, hey, I would do those things. But as far as integrity for the game is where I cut the line off integrity for the game. I would never do something that's like against the game as much as I would against a player. Like against a coach, I agree with you. There's no integrity amongst thieves.
Because I wouldn't feel right as a competitor knowing that I like cheated. This is me personally. I cheated in some way. Now, again, there's competitive edges. Like the example you use, if I'm in the midst of a game and I'm looking at the left guard and the left guard is sitting back in his stance, I'm thinking, oh, he's about to pull. Like,
what's the difference?
That's different though than like getting a drone and I'm actually trying to find a way before the actual competition itself to give myself an extreme advantage.
So what's the difference
of the competition?
But what's the difference of you watching film and studying the competition? The reason I bring this up is you guys wouldn't know this because you don't follow it, but the World Series of Poker just happened. The main event, right? First place was $10 million. And there's a lot of people that believe the winner cheated at the final table. An earpiece fell out of his ear during his celebration. Now, he admits to the earpiece, but he says they weren't telling people the hands. He had someone that was on the rail rooting him in that had a laptop where they would look at a hand and he would instruct him, okay, this is what you did with this hand 3 weeks ago when you had it. And people are saying it's cheating and that he shouldn't be allowed to do that. You shouldn't be allowed to have laptops there. But he just exploited a rule that – so it's –
Did he win? Did he keep it?
He did. He won. He won first. He got $10 million. He won.
They're not reading it. They're not pulling it back on that?
No. What do you think? Because you're a poker player. Like, what do you think about that?
Here's the thing. As I said, if I'm playing poker against 6 or 7 or 8 other people and I spot a tell that someone does something when they have a certain hand, I'm not going to tell them. Like, I'm going to just let them keep doing it.
But that's different. That's like me being a smart hustler, right? I'm in the midst of a game and I picked up on a habit or something that you're doing. That's different between like I'm purposely putting together a system, let's call it a system, in order to give myself an advantage either during the game or before the game.
I agree. But what if, okay, let's just say he didn't wear an earpiece and after every hand, he went over and said, and they gave him instruction. Like, it's not like the guy in the earpiece was saying, hey, the guy to the left has ace-3 of diamonds.
The problem is, Jeff, we don't know. It's hearsay. That's the problem. He's saying that. We don't
one
know.
Of my lifelong friends, Ruben, is in the chat. He's a big poker guy. He loves your takes on that stuff. He's a big poker guy as well. So he is the same way as you on that regard. We play here at the house all the time. Ruben does. Ruben wins quite often, and so do I. I beat Ruben's ass mostly, but no, Ruben's really good. He's saying the same thing. He's saying the same shit. That's the game.
But there is a point, Ruben, where like, listen, I've always said I don't think you should be able to wear sunglasses. Like, I think it just takes away from. Like,
I was gonna bring that up.
Like, there's a lot of things that like are not rules, but like there's just you shouldn't be wearing headphones. You shouldn't be wearing because we don't know what's going on in those headphones. Like, we need to know what's going on. It's the same thing in like a football helmet. We don't truly know what they're saying. I don't know how long they can say shit. Like,
it cuts off after like 15 seconds. It cuts off, and then you don't hear it. It's called the green.
Like, how do we know that like they're not? And Bill Belichick got in trouble for this, didn't he? Stealing signs. I don't think that's cheating. He got a leg up on his competition. They should protect their signs better. In the case of the drone, I'd have shot the fucking drone down with some dynamite or something. Like, I don't know. I just, to me, cheating and a competitive advantage is, I don't know.
I hear you.
But you should not be able to wear sunglasses playing poker. That's just my opinion.
Hey, Steve, let's dive into Jeff's wheelhouse before your question real quick. I just want to
take over.
Because I just had a question for him that a lot of people were wanting to know, and Jeff covered it on his own show and talked about it on social media. Jeff, real quick is the question I have about Bailey. Pop that picture in for us real quick. And it's a question that I have specifically for Jeff. Jeff, this is my question before you even break down what this is. I want to ask you this question. Did open borders, in your opinion, allow Mayo in, or would he have gotten in anyway? That's just my simple question.
No. This is just way bigger. He didn't actually come into America. He flew to a border crossing and was met at the airport. To make people understand the scope of this is the level of Osama bin Laden being captured. This is a huge thing here. This is the biggest drug trafficker on the planet. This is a guy that has been out there for 40 years. If you'd have told me he'd have been captured, I thought you were crazy. Like, this is 10 times El Chapo. This is huge, right?
Really?
And from what I understand, he was set up, basically. He was set up to come to the border, and the U.S. was there waiting for him. And let me give some love. I know they're not going to. Merrick Garland is the Attorney General. And I know they've not done a good job of Mexico and the border, but they've done a good job of bringing in large drug trafficking suspects like this. This is the pick of the litter. This is the number one. This guy's bigger than El Mencho. He's bigger than all of them. This guy runs a Sinaloa cartel. This is huge news.
Jeff, I got to be honest, though. I know you're not that blinded either, that you don't think we set this up on purpose.
No, we absolutely. This is a very carefully orchestrated thing that the U.S. government. No, listen. I think the U.S. government went to members of El Chapo's family, his sons, who are bitter rivals of El Mayo, and said, listen, we'll give your other brother some love. We'll move him to a better lockup. Tell us where El Mayo is. Get him here. They somehow tricked him to come here. And at 76 years old, he'll die in federal prison.
Because I got a personal, hands-on experience with this because of me being raised with Rick Ross and seeing one of the biggest United States drug dealers at the time run it here in L.A. I've seen checks written by President George W. Bush to Noriega.
Sure.
And that is a government that I know for a fact we'll choose who we're going to go get caught up and set up and do this thing. But then we'll let 30 million other motherfuckers in here to do all this other shit.
Listen,
and then
this is
now
not
it's a big thing, Jeff, now because they think, oh, it's crazy how Kamala Harris all of a sudden, since she's taken over, basically has caught the biggest fucking drug dealer in the United States. Come on, homie. It's a
no, but what I'm saying is, and listen, this, I'm not going to just single out Kamala and Merrick Garland. This country as a whole for decades has done a good job of ridding the world of big criminals. El Chapo, John Gotti, Pablo Escobar, all this shit. That's all I'm saying here. That said, the price of fentanyl won't change. It'll be the same way to attain it. A lot of cocaine will still be eaten. This isn't going to affect the drug trade. It just won't. But this is a huge catch. El Mayo has led this cartel for 50 years. Okay, he was elusive for years. Now, to me, I don't think he's been in control. I think his son's now in control. But in Mexico, it will be affected. Mexico will have issues with this. And this also shows you that the Mexican government does not pursue these people. They don't do anything. They had nothing to do with this. They could have gave him up a long time ago. And this is interesting. If Donald Trump wins, what will happen next? Because that could mean that he would go into Mexico and do something. So, no, this is a big thing. I mean, this is to the level of Osama bin Laden. This is a huge catch.
Yeah, it's interesting times, I'll say, to say the least, for everything that's going on right now and everywhere.
But let this be a lesson to all of you. Everybody rats on each other. High-level people, nobody cares about rat. You do what you have to do to survive. And the Chapitos, the Sons, you get him out of the way, you're the top dog now. And they are. They're the top dogs now. So you do what you have to do.
Yeah, it's crazy. Smitty, you were going to ask a question, I know, and I asked that. So
no, it's all good. I was going back to the sports world here on the rundown here. NFL, man. So Jim Harbaugh was at LA Chargers camp in the headlines again. Look at my guy right here with his player. Every time we see Harbaugh, man, like I know he comes out
always doing something goofy.
Something kind of weird, quirky, whatever. But like the results are the results, though. Everywhere he goes,
looks like a pregnant mom.
JB, explain what he's doing though right here, man. Just so the people like, do you know what he's doing right here, JB?
Yeah, he's just building rapport with his players. This is just team building 101. There's nothing that
JB would never like do the actual drills with his players. Like he would yell at them and tell them to do it, but he was never the coach that actually go out there, run the damn hoops with the D line, go to the backs with the O line. Like he never.
We saw what happened when they asked him to run. He could barely do the running.
He could barely run. I mean, I had a guy coming in.
Smitty's all cap right now.
JB could never run a mile right now.
Smitty's fucking around because every player that's ever played for me in this will tell you that I did everything. I demonstrate the fucking drill, by the way. So Smitty's full of shit. He don't know what the fuck he's talking about, and he's just trying to cap everybody in here or whatever you call it.
A bigger topic though, Hulk Hogan and Dan Campbell did a promo at Lions training camp, and fans are reportedly not happy.
Why?
Is there sound of this? We hear sound.
Here. 3, 2, 1. Yo, maniacs, Hulk Hogan here, the greatest of all time, and my new tag team partner, Campbell Mania brother, is going to run wild this year. Super Bowl, nothing but greatness, nothing but victory. So what you going to do when the Detroit Lions in Campbell Mania runs wild on you, brother? What you going to do?
Couple of things here. Campbell looks like his son, first of all. Number two, they're mad because he supports Donald Trump, 100%. There's a certain group in the fan base. We don't like him. By the way, does Hulk Hogan ever go home? He's everywhere.
Right. He was in LA. He was everywhere. Hey, by the way, did anyone think that Dan Campbell was going to be like a liberal left-wing guy? Yeah, come on, homie. What are we talking about? By the way, Trump had a deal right after the Milwaukee thing in Detroit or in Grand Rapids or wherever, and it was sold out. Are people really tripping? Like, come on, get out of here with that shit.
I will say though, I love the Lions, man. I think they're going to be. I mean, it's not a hot take, but that's a really good roster, man. I mean, they have. I'm a big St. Brown guy. I mean, Jared Goff continues to take the next steps. They have a great offensive line, possibly the best offensive line. Defensively, they need to get a bit better, but they got younger. They went out and got Terrion Arnold. Look, a group like that, you get Terrion Arnold, who was the best corner in the draft. The Chargers, I like that roster outside of the receivers. I don't know if they have good. It's a bunch of young kids on the outside there. I would have liked to have seen them go out and grab a veteran. Then again, they lost all their veterans at that position. But I like the Lions. That's the one team I'm really worried about.
Let me ask. We started the show with a poll question. Well, we didn't start the show. I had a bunch of shit going on. I had to leave the show. But where are the Jets a top 10 team right now? In your order?
I voted in that poll. I was surprised to see that it was 50-50. I would absolutely say they are. Right now, with who they have, how are they not a top 5 team or top 10 team? I mean, you look at the AFC. Obviously, the Chiefs are better. The Ravens are really good. You have one or two others, but I would put them right there. I don't know that there's 5 teams in the NFC better than them. With Aaron Rodgers, with that defense, with, obviously, Garrett Wilson, they added Mike Williams. Obviously, he's unable to perform.
O-line's better. O-line's much better.
Yeah. The problem is, and I think this is the issue for the Jets. Man. The coach. I mean, do you really like Robert Saleh? Do you like Nathaniel Hackett, who's a fucking moron? That's the one issue. And can Aaron Rodgers stay healthy? But, I would surely.
Smitty and Jeff, you could talk about it. Like, on paper, let's just be honest. On paper, they're probably top 2 or 3 rosters. I want to segue and transition this to another team in the AFC that is really, really roster heavy loaded too. That no one talks about because of the question mark at QB as far as the inconsistency, the mindset.
I know you're about to say. I know exactly what you're about to say.
Cleveland, right?
The Browns, yeah.
Where's Cleveland at on your radar?
Woo. I mean, they're kind of similar to the Jets' makeup in the sense that amazing defense that's really the core of that team. Running game, had a decent running game, even with Chubb injury. Chubb looks like he's going to be making a comeback. I saw him squatting like 600 the other day, so he's healing pretty fast. The only question mark is how good will Deshaun Watson be? But you guys remember last year before Deshaun went out for his injury, even though he's playing subpar, I think he was like 6-1, 5-1. He was winning. It was a good winning record, even with them playing subpar. So it's like, as long as he doesn't just mess it up and that defense can continue to do what they're doing, I mean, I can see them winning a lot of games. And that's why this year I'm actually excited, y'all, because I don't know what's going to happen. The AFC North is loaded. I think the Steelers could be really good. The Ravens, obviously, you guys know how I feel about Lamar. You got the Browns. Like, the AFC is loaded on paper.
Smitty, let me ask you something. Would you put them on the same level the Jets is like? I mean, who are you taking, Houston or the Jets? I'm taking the Jets. I mean, I like the Texans. Obviously, they're a team coming up. But, I mean, there are 3 teams better than the Jets in the AFC. The Chiefs, the Ravens, and I don't know. I guess maybe Houston. But, I mean, the Jets are right there. They're better than the Bills.
You argue the Bengals?
Yeah, I guess them too.
Burrow coming back?
But again, in the AFC, the Jets are a top 5 team. Are there 5 teams in the NFC that you think are better? No.
Right. Can they beat? Here's my question that we broke down. Can the Jets beat? A lot of people think that Shaun King, Weddle, a lot of people think the Rams are going to be pretty formidable this year. Are they better than the Niners, the Rams, and the Eagles? That's 3 off the bat in the NFC. And then are they better than some teams that may be on the fringe or on the cusp? Cowboys.
I think they're better than the Rams. I mean, look, the Rams obviously lose Aaron Donald. That's a huge loss. Look, defensively, they're still strong. Matt Stafford's another year older. That's a good question. I would still think with Aaron Rodgers, I mean, who's still a top quarterback, with that defense, I don't know if they have many holes on that team. Right?
I think you just hit the nail on the head. I think for the naysayers, that's what they're questioning is Aaron Rodgers still a top-tier quarterback? I think people are just assuming that with the injury and the age and the fact that his last season in Green Bay when he was healthy wasn't that amazing, that they're putting all that together, and they're saying we don't know if he's going to be Aaron Rodgers that we assume he'll be.
Jeff, you're saying right now in that AFC East, the Patriots are insignificant. They're out.
The worst team in the league.
Okay, the Bills are a rebuild basically on offense. We don't know what they're going to do around Josh Allen when losing 2 big-time wideouts. Gabe Davis, who leads the NFL in touchdowns, scored in the last 3 years, and then you lost Diggs. So you're going to rely on a heavy run game. How good is that O-line, and then how good is the defense to get him the ball in short red zone opportunities is going to be huge to me with that Bills team, number 2. Number 3, the Dolphins, who are a team that has yet to prove they can beat anybody on the road in cold weather, A, or beat a team that's more physical than them, B. So right now, the Jets are the team you're saying in that East.
Yeah. And remember, the Bills have a lame duck coach who's probably going to get fired. And the Dolphins, defense, you lose Vic Fangio. That defense wasn't good, right? Particularly in the end of the season. You mentioned they can't win in cold weather. Offensively, they're really good. We know, Tyreek Hill, Tua. But do you trust him again? Do you trust him in January to go up to New York in the elements and win a game, I'm not sure.
Let me ask you. Go ahead.
With Aaron Rodgers.
Transitioning to the AFC North. This is a league where a lot of folks say 3, if not 4 teams can get in the fucking playoffs. Cleveland being that team we're questioning that's super loaded, but we don't know what's going to happen at QB. Flacco saved that team last year, in my opinion. So if Deshaun Watson, uber talented guy, is he head conscious and head cleared from all the allegations and all the shit he's dealt with? And then the Ravens, of course, went to the AFC Championship game. You have the Steelers, who we think may have a resurgence here with Tomlin and 2 QBs. We don't know what's going to happen. 2 may mean none. We don't know what's going to happen there. And where are you at with that division? Can 3 teams make it to the playoffs?
I mean, I think they could. I'm not. The Ravens are tough because you had Derrick Henry, who's older, but that's the best running back they've had probably in a while there. I don't love their receiver core. Obviously, Lamar had an MVP season, and they still didn't win, so that's concerning. They still came up short. Defensively, obviously, that's always going to be where they have their bread and butter. Can guys like Marlon Humphrey stay healthy? Look, I like the Bengals. I think if you can get past the first 5 games of the season where Joe Burrow generally struggles and their offensive line's better, I have a hard time believing they're not a top 5-7 offense in the league. Defensively, they've always been solid. They've got to get to the quarterback. That's obviously huge, and they have to be good on the back end. But, yeah, I think the Bengals are the team to beat in this division. Steelers, I'm good. This is Russell Wilson's, 3rd team in 3 or 4 years? Can we stop with Russell Wilson? Look, 4 years ago, great quarterback. Did things I never thought a quarterback could do. But he just hasn't been very good. I guess he improved a bit, but that isn't exactly an offense that screams that he's going to be electric in it. Again, Mike Tomlin, I would have fired 6 years ago. So I don't.
But real quick, before I forget, does he need to be electric? Does he need to be Russell Wilson in Seattle for the Pittsburgh Steelers? Because the Steelers they win 10 games with me and you at quarterback. So
that's
if
true.
Russell's just okay,
and a lot of people
win 12 games.
Yeah, that's true. And a lot of people say, well, Jeff, you're way off because, as you just alluded to, they had Kenny Pickett and Duck Hodges and like some of these, guys. Who's that guy they had the other year from Sanford?
The dude that got hit in the head from Sanford.
Yeah, Duck Hodges, I think.
Trubisky?
Well, yeah, they had Trubisky.
No, what's my man that got hit in the head, but from Myles Garrett?
And you didn't mean that he just left.
What's his name? Somebody tell us, Bailey. He got hit in the head from
Mason Rudolph.
Mason Rudolph.
Yeah, they've had a bunch of bums, and the thought was they never replaced Ben Roethlisberger. This might be it.
You don't.
That said, the offense doesn't.
The Colts haven't replaced. They tried with Phillip Rivers. I mean, they haven't replaced. To be honest, they haven't replaced. We know Manning, but they haven't even replaced Luck.
Yeah, so, Richardson sucks. Yeah.
And let me ask you something. Transitioning to that, AFC South, and I'm tying all this in with the Jets. AFC South, Texans, we can argue could be better. We don't know. They're going to be better than last year, even maybe.
I think you have to say they're better. I mean, Stephon Diggs makes you instantly better. And what do we know about young quarterbacks when you add a top receiver? CJ Stroud was already good. You take him from being pretty damn good and electric, rookie of the year type of kid, to top-level quarterback, like a Josh Allen, who, again, really benefited from having a top receiver. That defense with D'Amico Ryans at the helm, we know he's a defensive guy. They had Kamari Lassiter. That defense is strong too, as it is. So
and then tie in an upsurging upstart Colts team who was on the border of playoff team last year, who will have a good defense. They'll have some good weapons. It's all going to come down to QB play, as we know, Jeff, and I'm not a believer in it. But again, they'll be a good team, I believe. And then the Titans, who I believe lost a lot, losing Vrabel alone, who you just saw running on Cleveland Browns field there because he's just that energetic guy. He'll be a head coach again next year. I don't know why he's not this year, but so that the South, though, is arguably, we can probably argue, is the worst conference in the AFC other than who? That's it, right? That's got to be the worst conference, or the East, I guess.
Well, listen, I think Indy's a group that, obviously could sneak in as a wildcard team. They definitely got better. Richardson makes them a little bit more dynamic. Look, are they at the level of the Texans, though? No, I don't think.
Titans, your guy.
And what do the Jags do, Steve, Smitty and Jeff? What do the Jags do this year? Like, that's an outlying team.
Trevor got paid. Net up or shut up. And you remember, they were the king, so to speak, or we thought they would be, of the AFC South. 2 years ago? They made the playoff. They came back against the Chargers. They had a competitive game against the Chiefs. And then last year they started off with 8-3, I want to say. And then shit the bed on the back half of the season.
He doesn't come across to you, Trevor Lawrence, as like a Carson Wentz type of player, where he had a good year or two, and then it's just like he never becomes what you want him to be. And maybe it's just because Doug Peterson's there. I don't know. He has no excuses. You have Gabe Davis. You have, Brian Thomas, a good young receiver. They're going to have options. Evan Engram's still got something left. You got a pretty good run game, a good offensive line. I really don't know what your excuses are if you're Trevor Lawrence. You got paid. What else do you do? Are they the worst division? I don't know. I think they're definitely coming up. And you look at even the Titans. Their big issue is Will Levis the guy, right? He's got some options now to throw to. I would have kept Mike or Vrabel. I like Mike Vrabel. I think he should be a coach as well. I don't know.
So full circle. Now I go to the West. The Raiders are upsurging team. We'll see what happens. They got a quarterback question mark. You got the Chargers with a new head coach who's proven he's won everywhere he's ever been, with a guy that everyone thinks should be the guy in Herbert. We haven't seen yet. You lost a lot at receiver though, but you gained in the draft. I thought you got some good pieces there, and then you got the Chiefs, obviously, who are the favorite, and then you have the Denver Broncos, who I believe are going to be another year away. So they're going to not be to me a concern. So there's 3 teams there. I believe you can either get 1 team in out of that league, or you can possibly get 3 teams in out of that league. It just depends on how this thing unfolds. Going back to the Jets now, do you still, after we broke down every conference, think they are a top 5 team in the AFC? I kind of agree with you. I think they are after that breakdown.
Yeah, I think you have to assume they are. Again, you have to make sure that Aaron Rodgers is healthy. And look, I still think at his age, is he what he was 10 years ago? No, but I think the only thing that holds them back is the coaching staff.
Because Smitty, process of elimination, we just did. You're gonna eliminate the Broncos. You're gonna eliminate you're gonna eliminate possibly Chargers or Raiders in that deal. We'll have to see, but. Cleveland's a question mark, right? We don't know. Steelers are a question mark. We don't know. The Steelers are a question mark as far as on the cusp. The Colts and the Jags and the Titans, to me, have been eliminated. Yeah, I eliminated them by process of elimination.
Yeah.
On the other side, New England Patriots have been eliminated, process of elimination. The Dolphins we don't think are serious. And then the Bills are huge question mark. They have a QB, but we don't know what's around him.
Dolphins look good on paper, though. I do want to say that. On paper, the Dolphins look fucking good.
They do. And they did make some they attained some folks in the offseason. Yep. So foregone conclusions that we think you have the Chiefs, the Jets by paper, the Ravens, the Texans, and now we got a bunch of teams in there that we don't know about. The Ravens are a foregone conclusion, but then you have the Steelers, you have the Browns, you have some loaded rosters. On the NFC side, Jeff, to make your top 10 point, the fifth NFC team I would question is better than the Jets would be Green Bay. So that would be my 5th team. So you'd have the Eagles, the Niners, the Rams, Green Bay, and Dallas, possibly, right?
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, there's a few things I'll say. The Chiefs, I will say this.
And the Bengals, sorry. I forgot the Bengals.
Yeah.
I don't think the Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl this year. I'll say that. I think the Bengals, I think this is their year. I think Joe Burrow finally gets there and wins and goes to the Super Bowl. But I think he's already been there once, hasn't he? I believe once.
Yeah. Burrow, he's been there and lost.
Yeah.
And another team I mentioned that would be in the argument would be the Lions on the NFC team as a 6th team.
I think the Lions are better than
Lions are legit.
Yeah, I think you can make a case.
They should have beat the Niners this year.
You would put the Lions in, if you had to pick 5 NFC teams better, possibly. You would say The Lions over the Packers or vice versa?
I think the Lions are the best team in the NFC going into the season.
Over the Niners, Eagles, Rams.
Yeah, I think how can you not say that? I mean, they were right there. I think you can make the case either the Lions, Eagles, or the Niners.
Yeah.
We shall see, man. We wrapping up for a very exciting season, to say the least. I know I can't.
Hey, Jeff, before we move on real quick, I got to ask a baseball question. My Dodgers, my Doyers, Clayton Kershaw returned last night, beat the hated ones, the Giants, 6-4. Does this mean the Dodgers in the betting world would again be in the odds-on favorite to win the World Series with those bats? They're third. They have the third best record in baseball. They've had the most injuries. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah, I will say, I mean, shameless plug. I've been very good in baseball this year betting it. That said, from a future standpoint, I haven't looked. They're the favorite to win the World Series. I think.
Are they still the favorite? They're still the favorite?
Yeah. And look, I mean, the trade deadline's coming up. Obviously, the good teams like the Phillies and the Dodgers will grab what they need. I'm still in the belief that the Phillies are going to peter out, kind of like they did last year, where they look really good the whole season, and then the playoffs come and they find a way to screw it up. But yeah, I mean, with the bats they have, with Ohtani and all that, Kershaw comes back. Kershaw's kind of like Aaron Rodgers. Does he still have it? I think he still does. But we do know, though, Kershaw is not good in the playoffs.
He's a great regular season player, like Aaron Rodgers. Right. Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, would I bet them at 3-1? No, probably not. I think, obviously, when you look at the American League, it's pretty strong. But
American.
I look at the teams that are legitimate, like contenders, right? And I look at them, and then I look at them when they have played the Dodgers. And to be honest with you, the Dodgers have owned the Yankees, they've owned Milwaukee, they've owned Boston. So what team out of the East can beat the Dodgers, or American League, can beat the Dodgers in a 7-game series? In my opinion, the Dodgers have proven that they are the best team overall if they're healthy. The Dodgers have had 16 pitching rotation changes this year. It's only second in Major League Baseball to Milwaukee's 17. They've been
in the American League.
I mean, the Orioles are balling though. I got to pump your brakes now, JB. We can't forget about the Orioles and what they've been doing this year. If I had to pick one team that I would say at least be in the contention, the Orioles, man, they looking good.
Who do you like with the Orioles? They're like leadoff hitter. Who's their leadoff hitter?
Go ahead, Jeff. Go ahead, Jeff, real quick. Go ahead, Jeff.
Why? Go ahead, Jeff. I asked Smitty a question.
No, go ahead, because he was talking. I didn't want to cut him off. Go ahead,
no,
Jeff.
I was just going to say, I would also say the Yankees. I mean, the Yankees are still.
The Yankees.
Yeah. But listen, the Orioles are young. They have a young roster, but they went out and got Corbin Burns, who is a legitimate #1 starter in the playoffs. Legit. Yeah, and
him. Don't forget about Grayson Rodriguez has been playing very well this year as well as Albert Suarez. So I don't know, man. I just think that right now there's a few teams right now that are all like competitive and could possibly do some big things.
That said, though, the Dodgers need to beat the Phillies or the Braves or Also keep in mind Houston isn't far off. The Twins have played pretty well. The Braves in the NL have been good. The Brewers have a pretty strong group.
Vinny, how do you look at the American League? You look at Boston, Orioles, the Yankees, of course. The Indians are now the Guardians or whatever.
Can't say that no more.
Give me your best players from each of those teams. Boston, go ahead. Who's your best player?
I mean, I'm gonna focus more so on the Yankees, though. I mean, a guy that obviously the whole world's gonna think about. I mean, it's Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole is a guy who has been consistent this year. Consistently been balling out, doing his damn thing as well. I'm a fan. I'm personally a fan of Marcus Stroman. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He looks like me a little bit. He don't look like me, but you know what I'm saying? I'm a minority, my brothers. So, I mean, those are the guys that stand out for me on that particular team. You said Boston? Who'd you say? I didn't hear what you said. You said Boston?
I didn't say Google it. I was asking you because you know so much about baseball all of a sudden.
I'm not Googling nothing. I'm trying to get on make sure we're still on the rundown. But for Boston specifically, I would probably have to say my favorite player. Like, not yours, not who the media likes, not all that. But my guy who's in the rotation, who I'm a big fan of, I actually like my guy, Garrett Whitlock. You know what I'm saying? I think he's been playing well this year, been consistent this year as well. And when I look at the bullpen guys, though, who I got on the bullpen, my guy Kenley Jansen is a guy who I look at as well. So listen, man, there's a lot of top tier players on different teams.
You remember where Jansen was before? You remember where Jansen was before?
Do
you remember where Jansen was when he was really good? Where was he? Remember what team?
Bailey, help me out with this one. I'm having a brain fart. I'm having a fucking brain fart.
You know a lot of baseball.
Yeah, the fucking died. Doyers. Yeah.
He was a good closer for them.
Yeah, he was. Hell of a closer for us.
Hey,
Didn't
but
lead but
I will say I've made my strong future bet as far as college football is concerned. Nobody's beaten Ohio State this year. Nobody's beaten Ohio State.
Ohio State's the best roster ever.
I think Oregon beats them.
This roster, though, dude, is, I mean, strong.
The one thing about rosters that catch people up in college is they're 17 to 21-year-old kids that can go off the rail any given moments, and you just can't depend on them. Like, and that worries me, especially quarterback for Ohio State, Jeff. We just don't know. It's a flip of the coin right now.
Yeah, but hold on a second. What do we know about Dylan Gabriel? I mean, I know he's good, but can he decipher a strong defense every week in the Big Ten? Can he do it in Madison? Can he do it in Beaver Stadium? Can he do it in that's not easy either.
Yeah,
across the country.
I look at it as an equal playing field, in my opinion. Like, to be honest, I look at it as Dan Lanning, second-year head coach, period. 37, 38-year-old kid who's done a great job as a recruiter.
Oh, he's a great coach.
And then you got Ryan Day, who inherited a great program overall, resources, program, NIL, who has yet to get over the hump either. So those two coaches are both fending for their, I guess, legacies this year. What guy can actually get over the hump and win a meaningful playoff game and win a natty or put his name in the upper echelon of the business and the profession? That's where I think those two are going to come down to.
Well,
Lincoln Riley is out of it, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I will say, I mean, I think that Oregon will win the Big Ten. I mean, I think that's surely going to happen. Or not win the Big Ten, but we're right there with Ohio State. I don't know.
Michigan's defense is returning. I'm going to be honest. They're a playoff level defense. And now what do they do with Orgy or Porgy or Purgy or Urgy, whatever the quarterback's name is? What do they do with him?
I mean, their fan base is content. I don't think Penn State, can they go over the hump, right?
I know last year, I know last year during the season we were on their head. Like,
I bet them undefeated. A lot last year.
They were undefeated, Jeff. You broke them down. Like, they had the number 2 ranked defense and still couldn't beat a big time. They can't get over the hump.
Yeah, because their quarterback play was horrific. I mean, Drew Aller he couldn't string a pass together. They didn't throw the ball either. You look at against, Michigan, they just couldn't move the football. There's nothing worse than watching Drew Aller on that Penn State offense try to move the ball. That said, the Big Ten is strong. I mean, you add USC, you add, again, I'm not going to tell you that Washington or anything's going to win it, but it's a much better conference. Will be strong. Nebraska's better. I don't know if there's an easy game. Indiana, they have Kurtz and Yeti now. There's a couple of interesting teams here.
Yeah, we've been breaking them down the last few days since you left on Monday show. We kind of had it in studio. We were breaking them down. We showed where they are, the pecking order, and we kind of went through each team. Missouri's on the rise. In the SEC, we broke them down and compared the SEC versus the Big Ten. Missouri's a team I thought in the SEC that got the SEC like from top to bottom much stronger this year. It depends on where Alabama ends up. But if you look at the Big Ten, from top to bottom, 16 teams, 18 teams in that thing? UCLA, Washington, Oregon, and SC obviously coming over. What shocks me in this, Jeff, is if you're betting this, Rutgers is higher than I thought I would ever see them. And I thought Maryland should be way higher. I thought Maryland should be ahead of Rutgers. Wisconsin, to me, should be lower. I thought Wisconsin should be where Maryland is. I'm not a believer. And then what Jonathan Smith does at Michigan State, for the simple fact that he has experience against UCLA, Washington, SC, and Oregon, because those guys came over together. He was at Oregon State in that same conference. Purdue and Indiana, pretty much probably where they are. Northwestern, I think, won 9 games last year with a head coaching debacle. So that's probably why they're where they are. Bielema in Illinois, I'm not a believer in, and I'm not a believer in row the boat in Minnesota, even though he wins 9 games.
He is elite.
Yeah, fucking elite. And then Iowa doesn't score points, Jeff. Iowa can't fucking score when it matters. So
yeah, but they haven't needed to. Listen, the team that none of these teams are going to win as far as this conference. But like a Nebraska and Iowa are the teams to look out for because, again, Nebraska, the new quarterback, they have Matt Rule, guy who's proven guy can win, good defense, strong team coming in. It's not easy to go in there and win. And Iowa doesn't need to score a lot of points because a lot of the time their defense is so good. That's it at the end of the day. You have to find ways to win. And the Big Ten West generally is a disaster. They do have a new coordinator, I believe. Will that make any change? They can't be much worse offensively, than they normally are. The goal is to get 25 points a game. Can they do that? Doubtful. But again, to me, it's probably Nebraska that I have some interest in. Washington, obviously, they have a lot to replace. Will Rogers, though, decent quarterback. We'll see if he can translate to a different team with a different coach. Maryland, I don't know. They lose Tagovailoa. Can
his brother?
Yeah. He's off. MJ Morris comes in. I guess he's their new quarterback. I'll tell you, though, a team that I love in the ACC, Louisville.
I like
Jeff Brom. I like Louisville.
And you know what, Smitty, real quick before we do some, I know you have a segment for us. Before I say something, the number one indicator that a head coach is good?
What?
How the program is when he leaves.
Ooh, yep. How you
I left Cabrillo. They went back to what they were before I got there. I left Independence. No. I'm just saying.
What happened when you left Independence?
Look at what's happened with Purdue since Brom left. Think about it. And what's happened to Louisville since he's got there.
Well, he's taken a lot of people with him, which is.
But I'm just saying that's just kind of how you judge a coach. Like when he left, how has he felt? How has the program felt when that coach left? And we're going to see that in Alabama this year, Jeff. We're going to see that in Alabama. We're going to see that at Washington. We're going to see that at Washington. We're going to see that at Michigan. Very, very. There's some teams that we really have to pay attention to on what's happened since their leader has left. So
that's true.
Very interesting.
Fair, man.
Go ahead,
very exciting to see what's
that.
going on, but we're gonna end the show the right way on a high, something fun. We got some black people shit and some white people shit brought to you by Taco Mail. Get the Taco Mail in the hood, man. Today, the nacho, get 3 meat burritos, shrimp, steak, and chicken with a cup of Kool-Aid. Shout out to Taco Mail, man. Speaking about that, let's go to black people shit first. Whatever we got.
They're paying us now.
Why are you parked, boy? Don't you supposed to be protecting and serving? Huh?
By the way, this is the guys that me and Jeff despise. These are these fucking social media influencers that do this shit and think they're okay because they say, "Oh, if you're on camera, it's a prank." I beat the fuck out of him.
He's the guy that you and Jeff follow and subscribe to, though. I don't get it. I don't get it.
No.
Yeah, I don't even know who this is. I hate this stupid shit. I hate this.
That's what you are to me, a boy.
You good old boy.
You a boy.
Who that? You good old boy.
This your sidekick?
You imagine Jeff talking to a cop like that back in the 90s?
Oh, you get slapped the fuck up.
This is my slave.
Boy?
Correct.
Who's this?
Aren't you supposed to be protecting and serving?
Yeah, that's why you can. Actually, you need to get out the road so you don't get hit by a car, boy.
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 Disrespectful.
Nah, you disrespectful. How you gonna let you go be a slave?
Mess.
Correct.
Good old boy.
You just a good old boy.
Obey.
That's right, boy.
Obey, boy.
We're gonna walk away and let you do your job.
That's the guy, Smitty, that goes into Walmart and calls brothers boy.
I know. I think he's actually mixed himself. I think he's actually mixed himself. He looks fair skinned.
He's black.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like he's a light skinned guy, but he looks white, so that's why people obviously gonna get pissed off. But like, it's just stupid. But when I say we, not us, but like we as a society, we as people of social media, that's the stuff that we support, and that's the stuff that goes viral. That's the stuff that he's making probably good money off of on social media from doing it, which is why he continues to do it.
to be fair with Jeff, that's why Jeff talks about the society. The Hawk 2 abroad. She's made it to now. She's on everything now all of a sudden. Like, look at the fucking thing. Ice Spice.
Well, Ice Spice makes music, but like that's I'm gonna say she don't fall in the category. These are like literal just people making videos,
like Shitty Red, or what's her name, Shitty Red or whatever. Her, like, come on, man.
But the hoification of America has happened for forever. I mean, Marilyn Monroe is a complete slut skank who we put on a pedestal for decades.
She was an actress and a model.
Yeah, but she wasn't a good actress. Everybody knows she wasn't a good. You know who's a good actress? Judy Garland. Shirley Temple. They were good actresses.
I like Shirley Temple. I to this day I drink Shirley Temples.
Marilyn Monroe was a hoe who fucked everything that walked, who didn't have a father in her life, and became a drug addict who died. Right?
Who are you to judge her, Jeff?
Hey, Jeff.
What if somebody calls you a hoe, Jeff? I know what you do. I know what you do every single weekend.
She was a hoe.
Hey, but hold on.
And you look at these people now, they worship her.
So is Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris a hoe?
No, she not. Stop saying that,
Listen,
JB.
You made a comment at the beginning of the show.
You ain't got nothing that's telling you that.
And not for nothing, Donald Trump, how many porn stars has he fucked? I mean, not for nothing. But you made a comment about Kamala. You said she's not black. How do you figure?
She's not.
Because she's Indian and Jamaican, technically. So he don't count.
You know what happened in Jamaica many years ago, dude? Let me explain something.
Educate him, Jeff. Educate him, Jeff.
You motherfucker.
Educate him, Jeff.
Let's talk about the slave trade for a little bit.
Do your research, JB.
Come on, man.
Hold on, time out.
I went to Jamaica. Ain't nothing but brothers and sisters out there.
Hold on.
Same nose, same eye, same.
How many brothers are in the Major League Baseball that are black skinned that don't speak American English at all?
But that's not her. She's American. She's from Oakland, homie.
Let's be clear what we're discussing here. Are we
But
talking about skin color, or are we talking about ethnicity and what she really is? First of all, we're talking about American's president who's not American. So let's just start with that.
Who?
The sitting president right now,
Joe Biden.
Let's be honest. No, it's not. It's Kamala Harris.
She is American. She's born in Oakland, homie. She moved to Canada later.
She was born in Canada and moved to Oakland.
No, it's vice versa.
She was born in Oakland.
No, she wasn't.
Yes, I will bet you any money live on this show, JB, right now. You putting out misinformation. I will bet you any money right now where she from. No, don't rub your face. Just bet me some money real quick. Just bet me some money.
I bet
on the show.
I bet you.
Just bet me 25 push-ups.
And then you got to bet me how Kamala got her rise in this business.
But listen, we already talked about that, JB. So let's say that's what she did, right? When she was 20-some years old. Okay, boom. What I'm saying is, once she got her foot in the door, there was work that had to be done. Whether you agree with the work or not, whether you hated her as you know, in her former job, whatever. I'm saying we're talking as if, like, for example, let's use Kim Kardashian. That's the perfect example. Let's use the example. She got the sex tape with Ray J. That will never go away. But that sex tape did not turn her to a billionaire. So all I'm saying is, say what you want to say about her. She ain't the first person who had a sex tape. She used that leverage and actually put in actual work from business and branding and stuff to do that.
Remember who we're comparing Kamala to? Donald Trump, a guy who has been handed everything he's ever had in his life and fucks porn stars and is a convicted felon. So it's not like we're...
And that's all I'm saying. Like, I'm not even I'm just saying we talk as if it's so one-sided, as if one side is just ain't done shit, this, that, a whole process. Yeah.
That's always how it is.
And then the other side is just fucking squeaky clean. I'm like, bro, just come down the middle and just keep it all the way real. Like you say, JB, I'm a slap dick, you a slap dick, Jeff a slap dick. Cool. That's what it is. It ain't
we always say that. That's not nothing to do with this conversation. We always.
But I'm saying my point is saying you listen. My point is saying it is let's not walking around like Trump shit don't stink too. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
We've already talked about
on both sides.
We've already talked about that.
But we don't talk about it though.
Will you agree though? If you're a man and you vote for Kamala, you're gay.
All right, then, y'all. Let's have a great weekend, Jeff. You turn up, you have fun, you do your thing, you be safe.
Smitty, thank you. That said, as a black male, voting for Kamala for what she did to other black men in the criminal justice system is crazy. because she has created the gulag for what it is. And that's just the truth, too. So has she fucked her way to the top, as JB is alluding to? No. Was she Montel Williams' side piece? Yes. Number 3.
Or his girlfriend, because that video that's floating around, it says daughter and then hers. Everyone thinks it's Kamala and another girlfriend. That's his actual blood daughter, which he stated, and Kamala, who he was dating at that particular time. Continue.
You guys got to go do some deep diving, dog. I'm telling you. Just do it for yourself. Just telling you.
JB funny. JB act like after this show, this motherfucker dedicates his life to just deep diving, just deep state, fucking research. You ain't just doing that all day. I know you, JB. You hustler. You got too much shit going on to be focused on. You ain't just focused on this shit all day.
But remember, he's a cold hustler.
Hey, remember though, remember, you'd vote for a guy that has no political affiliation. That's about money too. When it comes down to this country and your well-being and your pockets and your gas prices and your groceries too, over a broad that just did a fucking media. By the way,
if Trump wins, I better see all this shit change, though. That's all I'm saying. If he wins, the groceries better go down, the gas better go down, the fucking my life better get better. If this, because I'm just key. If he wins, my life better get better because my life don't be changing with the motherfucking presidency. That's why I don't
really think, Coach, that the price of groceries is where it is solely because of Joe Biden.
Listen. Don't just see what Smitty, when Smitty says that shit, it's like it's cringeworthy because we're acting as if Biden didn't say the country's fucked up because what he inherited from Trump. And now he expects Trump to fix everything that Biden's fucked up instantly.
But hold on. But if we don't think he's going to be able to fix it, then why the fuck are we? Why are we in an uproar? If no president has enough power to do anything,
we're not in uproar. Why do you guys keep getting this misconstrued? These are the two people that you have to vote for. It's real simple. You have to pick one. Like, let's be honest. We don't have a fucking pool of 1,000 people. It's too fucked. It's too fucked.
So if Kamala was the better option, even just because she's a woman, you wouldn't vote for her? Is that what you're saying?
No, if she was a better option. She was a better option, but she's not the better option. Her first campaign ad yesterday was with fucking made up humans and RuPaul or whatever her name is. Get the fuck out of here.
That's what he's really upset about.
Hey man, Jeff, like I said before,
you are gay. If you're
we gonna be on we gonna be
on baby. Let's
go. Bailey, bro, this takes away before we get banned from YouTube forever for the NFL season start, man. We love y'all. Have a great weekend. If y'all need us, don't hit us up. I got work to do. I got a job. I can't get fired from that job. But you gonna pay my bill, JB? My wife is right here looking lovely and chocolate and small and thick and tasty. We about to make a baby after this show. Y'all have a good weekend, man. I'm gonna see y'all later.
Issues get pressed so fast you don't get sacked like bags and baggage. Smitty and Jason Brown, kill the it's a rap. We